Everybody, I'm here with our good friend and huge Cardinal fan, ID Gesture. We're going to go stereo sound in about a second because let me see if I can shut this up. Oh, no, didn't do it in time.
We get the hello everyone twice now.
There we go. Everyone's like, God, I hate that guy. Anyway, we're here, a little special Thursday night chat with Al. Al still has not figured out how to put his camera, so his ugly mug stays right here. Congratulations, ID, our good friend ID Gesture. His Cardinals won today. And I'll let him go through the game recap, but it was funny. I typed congrats to him in our Discord already. And then I'm watching a football game, waiting for the to do the chat, and ID's kind enough to come on as a spur of the moment thing. Is that I'm a squirrel, it's a spur of the moment thing. And he goes, that was close. And so I start reading the Bible. Holy crap. Because they were up 7-3, right, ID?
Yep, 7-3.
Yeah.
Going to the bottom of the ninth.
Wow. So we're gonna go through that real, not quick. I mean, in a moment. I'd like to say hello to W Vogs. Check out his wonderful channel as he says hello to everybody. And we got Larry Harris. Well. Hello, Larry. He says it's almost Friday. Yes, it is. So we're gonna have a little Thursday chat with Alan ID. First of all, I'd like to say ID. Listen to the hockey game today because I listen at work. I can't really watch when I'm doing work. And just a marvelous job you're doing with the app of hockey. Totally love it. I left a comment in there. I just enjoy the thought process of how you're changing your lines and things like that, and just your overall commentary and your knowledge of hockey, amongst other things. But it's just so much fun. And we'll talk a little bit about that if you want. And you can tell the people that you're doing the best of 7, but there's a little switch up with it, and I'll let you share that with them. So this is ID Gesture. If you don't know, I'm assuming everyone in the chat does know, but just in case we get someone from like Zimbabwe or Belgium or France or Italy or Utah.
Oh, they know me in Belgium, though.
I figure they know you in Belgium. That you're so this is ID Gesture. Please, if you have not subscribed to his channel, please do so. He's got great stuff on there. And we got Ken Castro. Hello, Ken.
Hey, Ken.
And T-Dub, what's blazing in sports? Called a wonderful, if you didn't watch the fight, I watched it. Spence and, oh my God, I went brain dead. Porter. Good fight. T-Dub and I had the winner, as normal. So check out that wonderful channel, What's Blazing in Sports with T-Dub. Hope all is well with the little man. All right, ID.
All right.
Tell us, would you like to? Cardinals win. You see that down. You want to give us your thoughts on Game 1, Cardinals and Atlanta?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you my my impressions of Game 1 here. I think the Cardinals and Braves are two really good teams. I think they're equally matched up. They both have their flaws, and that was definitely shown tonight. The Cardinals committed at one point 3 errors, but then I think they ended up taking one of the errors back, so it wasn't an error. But going into great starting pitching, both teams pretty solid. Going in the 6th inning, it's a 1-1 ball game. The Braves get a couple runs there in the 6th or 7th inning.
Yep.
They take a 3-1 lead. And then top 8, Goldsmith hits a home run, closes the gap to 3-2. So there's a little bit of hope left for the Cardinals. They go in the top of the 9th, and Melanson comes out for the Braves, and they get a couple walks, a couple hits, doubles, one right down the line on the right over to third base.
Yep.
Goes in for a double, and then they get one over left the first base, and for another double, and before you know it, it's 7-3, 4 runs up instead of 1 run down.
Yeah, and it
looked like it was gonna be that, but then. Yeah. But then
I told you. I told my dad had come. I got my dad settled in. He goes, "Hey, did the Cardinals win?" I'm like, "Yeah, they must have win. They're up big. There's 3 out." I had switched to watch a little bit of the football game because our if we had an office pool, so I was watching a little bit about that, and I was in the Discord, and I said, "Congrats," and I go back and I look, and ID goes, "That was close." I went, "What?" And then he had put up the box, and I was like, "Holy cow!" So I like to say the first run when they tied it was a thing of small ball beauty. Ken Castro would have been proud. Infield hit. Yeah, it was an infield hit. Sacrificed the runner over to second, which if you saw, that was the pitcher, I believe, who did the sacrifice. I think it was.
Yeah, it was
the first pitch when he went to go bunt, he wanted nothing to do with it. I'm like, oh my God, just bunt. Like he was like, I don't want to do it. And then he put down a really nice bunt, moves him to second. They don't. Keuchel does not pay attention. No one pays attention. The second baseman shouldn't. Whoever's going to try to sneak in and keep him close. It was a lefty. Yeah, so it was. I can't remember. Anyway, whoever, either the middle infielders, I'm trying to remember now. They weren't sneaking in to keep him close. You know how you did that when you're whatever level of baseball. You just kind of do that little deke there. Try to keep him close. Just keep him thinking. He steals third without a throw. I mean, it's like whoop.
And then he had Keuchel.
Oh yeah,
on the windup, he was already running.
Oh, he had him timed. He had him timed.
Timed perfectly. Yeah, that's what I meant.
And then, good piece of professional hitting that the guy. I know they kind of moved the infield in, sort of. They called it in, but they were in, but they weren't all committed to throw the ball home. And it was a good, just get the ball down, get the ball to the right side. He made the second baseman move just enough where he thought, he went, nope, take the sure out, and it was 1-1. And then like the Cardinals basically came back, blew the game open, and I thought they had won. And then now ID will go back and tell us the rest of the story.
All right, so bottom of the ninth, Billy Hamilton pinch hitting for the pitcher, and Billy Hamilton 211 average. I'm like, just throw him strikes. He can't hit, and of course, what they do, they walk him. So I get frustrated.
Don't you hate that?
I hate it. I get frustrated. I go to the kitchen to get something to drink. I come back in the room. It's 7-5 because Acuna steps up to the plate and hits a 2-run bomb. I'm like, oh, this is not good. I didn't even realize it. I didn't, you sit back down and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, wow, there's no one on base. What the heck? And then you look at the score and it's like 7-5. Oh, man. Okay, well, this is going to be a little more interesting than I was hoping for. The next one is the most important play, and this one is you're probably going to see a lot on. It is Albies up. He hits a ground ball to shortstop. He makes a great play. This would have been an Al Red Sox fan call on this one. He would have been yelling and screaming. He throws it, but he throws it high. So Goldsmith is tippy-toeing and reaching up as high as he can.
Yeah.
To keep his foot on the bag.
On the bag, yeah.
They call him out. They call him out, but it goes to review. And literally you can see, because they have all the cameras and everything.
Yep.
The only thing left on the bag was his spikes. That's how high he was reaching up for that.
That counts then.
So they count.
You were out.
That it's an out. So that was the first out. Then Freddie Freeman steps up, hits another
Freeman,
home
always
run.
dangerous.
So if that would not have been an out, the game would have been tied.
Yeah.
And then they got Marquez strikeout on Marquez and a pop fly to somebody. So they ended up winning there with. It was not
close, too close for comfort for you and all the rest of the Cardinals fans. Now again, because I don't watch a lot of Cardinal baseball, that's your closer, correct?
It is now, because our Jordan Hicks got injured about May.
But down the stretch, that's the guy who shuts down the game.
Yeah, so he had given up 2 home runs all season.
You type that,
and he'd given up 2 home runs in the game.
Wow.
So, it was good.
Out of his system now.
Even if you're not a Cardinals fan, it was a good baseball game all the way around.
Yes,
it was.
The
first half of it was a great pitching, good defense. Both teams would have opportunities, runners on first and second or first and third, and somehow the pitchers have managed to get out of it. Kept a nice, tight, close game there. So that was it was a well even matchup.
It's what you want. It's what you want in a playoff game. You want that. You want that excitement.
Yeah, exactly.
Good evening, Amish Elvis. Amish Elvis always makes me giggle.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
So I think that, best of 5 series, if the road team gets that, obviously, I mean, it's not brain surgery, but you get that first victory on the road, now you have your split. Now the pressure to me is obviously on the home team, Atlanta. Atlanta does not have well, I mean, they've had good playoff runs, but I'm talking about this Atlanta Braves kind of team. So we'll see what they're made of tomorrow. They got 4 games, I believe, tomorrow on TV.
Yeah, tomorrow 4 baseball playoff games. So starting at 2:00 until 8. So
yeah, if you can play hooky from work, I can't because we're doing closing. Believe me, I would have. I would have just sat down and just enjoyed baseball. I still like baseball. I don't care how. I'll tell you, I'm watching the A's game last night, right? Tampa Bay beats the A's. Hats off to the Tampa Bay Rays, and congrats to our good friend MP Fox. And I believe you predicted that.
I did.
Yep. So ID Gestures, excellent at analytical skills. Believe me, to listen to him break down something's absolutely beautiful. Hello, Thrice-A-Roni. A card collecting treat. So, but yeah, ID. So I'm watching that myself, my dad, my uncle, before I came in and did what I was doing, or it was after, I think. Anyway, and I said, "There's the problem with baseball right there." The guy swing. I don't remember what Oakland A's player was at bat. He swings, he misses. He walks away like he's going back to the dugout. I'm like, did he just strike out? I thought that's only the second strike. But I mean, he walked. You know what I mean? There's no need to get that far out of the batter's box. That's, get in the batter's box unless something's in your eye or, something you have to call time. Hey, give me a second. I understand that. Pitcher, get on the mound, get your things down, and let's play ball. Let's play ball. That's the problem. I don't want to hear I don't need 7-inning games. I don't need and yada yada inning. We're gonna put a guy on second and all that. I mean, again, those are things people brought up. But I'm just saying, I still love playoff baseball. The Nats. Can we talk a little bit up the not the game that's on now, but the wild card game? Man, did the Brewers implode in that inning? Holy cow! That. Now, what did you see? Okay, I want to talk about one play specifically that really turned the tide of battle. The guy, again, I'm not going to remember who the Nationals were up at the plate. I can't remember who was up, but he gets hit by the pitch.
Yeah, I know which play you're talking about.
Okay, I don't have anything. Okay, so the bat and the knob of the bat comes out here. That didn't look right. Anyhow, I won't do that motion again. But the ball, to me, I thought the ball hit the bat first. That was just me. It was very close. But when I saw the replay, I go, oh, yeah, the ball hit the bat. And they said, no, hit by pitch. And that changed the guy was throwing hard. The Brewers, I should have looked up their names. I'm sorry. I don't know. But he was throwing hard. And then Zimmerman, I remember his name. He came in and, he fought off a tough pitch. He's a good hitter. He didn't get the start. Great pinch hit. Knocks it in there for the go-ahead run. The other thing was the right fielder for the Brewers. He should have – man, did he butcher that ball out there. Because when that ball was hit out there to right, I'm thinking, you're not getting that guy at the plate, right? You're not getting him. Just keep – because I don't care who really wins. That was a fun game. I was enjoying it. And then there's another thing I want to talk about Strasburger. And Matt Scherzer. He really butchered that ball. The whole thing is just keep the game tied at that, keep it away from the everyone on a bit. And he overran that ball. It was just miserable. I felt bad for him because no one wants to do that.
Well, here's a couple of my opinions.
Yep.
Number one, and this is going to be the most important one, and it came true tonight. They're not going to review, or they're not going to overturn an umpire's call unless it's clearly the wrong call.
Okay.
The call at first, when Goldschmidt reached up, if they would have called him safe, they would have left it safe because it's one of those 50-50 shots. So I don't think And that goes back to your, when the guy was
again, it was
dead.
tough. It was tough ID, but I'm saying when I saw the replay, I go, oh, to me it hit the bat first. But you're right, they're not going to change that because they're going to say the guy was there. Maybe it did clip him, and then he heard there's a different noise or something. But that when I saw because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, they hit him, and he did get hit, so he reacted like, ow. It's not like one of those where every once in a while you see the guy really didn't get hit. It hit the bat, and he's like, oh, ow. You know what I mean? He reacted right away. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of close. I said, oh, he got hit. And then I watched a replay. I was like, oh, wow, that hit the bat knob first. That's the way I saw it. But yeah, you're right. They're not going to do obvious. And they didn't.
I don't think they're going to overturn him unless they're super obvious that they made a bad call.
Like the guy's out by a foot or safe by a foot, things like that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, tonight, if they would have called Goldsmith off the bag and he was safe, then they would have just kept that call because it would have, it's one of those 50-50 calls. So second thing is, what do they teach you in baseball in the outfield since you were in Little League?
Put your knee down. Stop the ball.
Stop the ball.
Stop the ball.
That's your number one priority is to stop the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Not run up and try and scoop it up and throw the guy out at plate. That's not.
He wasn't going to get the plate anyway, in my opinion. I don't think so. Keep the runners from advancing that extra base, and it cost them.
Yeah.
But your ID's right. You stop the ball, and that was. And Zimmerman fought off a tough pitch. Windows, you got to be kidding me. Windows wants to do a freaking update. Not now, you jackass Windows. I love how they can just do this. So I'm going to pick a time. Yeah, okay. Ask me later.
12 o'clock.
Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. And now Windows is trying to hijack the show. Oh, my God. Pick a time. Oh, my God. What a pain in the ass. Let's do pick a time. What time is it now? It's 9:43. So let's pick freaking 12:50 p.m. Can we do that, Windows? 48 p.m. Okay. Unbelievable. Okay. Did I do this? I have never seen it just hijacks everything you want to do, Windows. Can we just, okay. Pick a time. I picked it. We'll finish installing updates when blah, 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 blah. PC is available. Windows. Okay. Can I just hit okay? Do I hit stop? Okay. Whatever. Today. Okay. There we go. We picked the time and close.
Midwest Sports. Am I in sync or is it just Al that's out of sync? Let me know in the chat if you wouldn't mind.
I saw that on the other stream. I don't understand why. Let me just go back.
Maybe you need to reboot.
Freaking Windows hijacking the Let me just see here. No, I look like I'm in sync on my thing. But yeah, on the other stream we did, I was like, whoa, it's like a karate movie at times, which was kind of amusing. So,
It's just your voice is like, you see you move your lips and then the voice comes.
Yeah. Because I have the sound off, I can't tell. So, well, we're just going to go with it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to restart it.
We can still hear it.
This is a recent thing. I'm going to have to shoot an email to StreamYard and say, what's going on? I'm not in sync. Okay. Well, I tried out for that group and it didn't work.
I'm in sync. It's
yes, you are. Yeah. No, I saw that on the other one. I was like, whoa, that's weird. When it was me, you, and Utah.
Maybe it's just a reboot. Do you reboot your computer every night or?
Oh yeah, I shut down. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean it's a recent thing with the past couple of streams. The last two I noticed, but it's too late now.
I wonder if it's because you're going. I don't know.
No, I only have StreamYard up, and I have my Kindle, but that shouldn't matter. That's not, it's a separate thing.
You're not on Wi-Fi then.
I am on Wi-Fi. Let's shut down the Wi-Fi. But see, now I can't do what. You know what? We'll roll the dice. We'll shut down Wi-Fi. Did that make it better?
Probably not, because it's got to resync. So I mean, the only way to do it is to restart. So
Yeah, we're not going to restart. We're just going to roll with the punches here.
But the main thing to take away from the Washington game was the guy who made the error was in there because Yelich got hurt.
Yeah.
So if Yelich was in there, reigning National League Player of the Year, I
Might have
wonder
been a
if
different
it would have
story.
been a different outcome.
But we'll never know because he wasn't.
That's true.
But you know what? We can play it over and over again
I
in
was
years
just
to
going
come.
to say, you can get your Stratomatic cards out and you can replay it and see what would have happened.
Over and over, whatever. Stratomatic, Action PC, Out of the Ballpark, Payoff, Pitch, you name it. Digital Diamond, Baseball, Baseball Mogul, you name it. You can. That's the beauty. It's a wonderful segue, unless you want to anyway, I think it's a great segue to my next little thought process. ID's been playing some APA hockey. I'm enjoying it immensely. Again, he does a great job of description. And again, I apologize if I'm not in sync. The second, we'll try to figure that out, but I'm not stopping the stream. But you've done a wonderful job with the APA hockey, and it's a sport you really like. Just like when Uncle Ron Juckett, Retro Sports Network, please check that channel out and subscribe along with Dave Gardner. All great stuff. You could see his pure love when he played the Strat PC game again. Regardless of whatever you think of whatever game, company, or game, when someone enjoys a game, it flows and it gives energy, and that's what I love listening when you do hockey. I like when you do it. I watch and listen to a lot of your stuff as much as I can, and the hockey I always enjoy because it's a sport. I enjoy hockey. I'm not stupid when it comes to hockey, but I'm not like, it's not baseball or football or something I understand, or boxing, something I really understand. I mean, I understand hockey, but I was telling you that I like the one thing that's fun with the card and dice, and then I'll shut up and then you can talk. When you're doing, like when I'm doing the baseball game, I think you do it and I do it and other people have done. You start your thought process, you're talking out loud. So you're saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. This is why I'm doing this. And I find that a lot of fun. So go ahead, ID. Hello, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby Catalano, how you doing? So yeah, I think it's like me when I watch your boxing. I don't know the first thing about boxing. I used to watch it years in the past, but when I watch you, it's like being at the side of the ring, and I can
Thank you.
feel the thunderous punches and everything, and the way you get into it. So that's kind of the way I feel about hockey. Is the same way you kind of feel about boxing. Is it's one of those treasures that I have and really enjoy playing and really like. And so I try to put everything I can into it to make it interesting, because I know when you got all the player cards on the table, it's not like baseball where you have, here's your pitcher, and here's your batter. I can zoom in on those and have them
No,
up, and everyone can see the results. But when you got 20 players that you have to have out, nobody can see the little numbers
yeah, but
anymore.
I think your setup looks good. I like what you did with it. You used StreamYard, and you brought up an Excel helper, it looked like. But again, I'm listening, so I just enjoy the call. But I do, when I get a chance, I'd like to look at it. Again, some people go, I can't see the cards. You're going to have to trust me that I'm not lying to you.
Right.
Do I make mistakes? Yeah, and I try to catch them. Sometimes I don't, and I go back and I look at, oh my God, I'm not joking when I say I have dyslexia. I see things backwards at times, and I'll even catch myself. But yeah, I love your call. Go ahead. I interrupt because I'm a squirrel. Sorry.
No, that's I just try to make it as interesting, because I know there's not a lot of hockey fans, super super hockey fans. There's a lot of people like yourself that are kind of mildly interested, and oh, this sounds interesting. So I try to make it as fun for people as I can. But we are going to be switching the format, because
Right, because you start with APA and
it
go ahead.
started with APA the
Yep.
first two games. And now for the next 2 games, we're going to switch over to play Stratomatic. So we'll be playing Stratomatic for games 3 and 4 because I want to really, now that I've had some time to delve into the APA, I want to get a better comparison when I do a Strat hockey game and compare them versus length, complexity, realism, fun factor, and all the things. So I have a better idea of if when people ask me a question. I just got an email from one of the subscribers today and said, "Hey, I've been watching your APA. Looks like a
Weird.
pretty good game. I'm thinking about getting it. Would you give it a thumbs up?" So before I really delve into and say yes, do this, do that, do that,
Right.
I did that with the baseball, but I haven't done anything with the hockey. So I thought, well, I really want to try the card and dice hockey for Strat as well, so I have better judgment on what things are doing. With
Yeah.
all that said, it actually got me in the mood to start working on my hockey game again.
Oh, awesome sauce! Because I need a game. I need a game.
So,
So you played 2 with APA. You'll play 2 with Strat, I assume, and then you go 1-1-1 if you do that, or something like that, or what do you feel better with?
probably I'm going to go 2 with Strat, and then probably go back 1-1-1, or I might bring a third game in. Just depends on
Ooh.
how the series goes. Yeah.
What would be the third game? Would it be
That'll
inside
be
the
a
crease?
surprise.
Oh, okay. There's a game because you play Fall Classic baseball, so you know the site, and I'm not going to remember the name because they have 2 hockey games on there, and it starts with a B.
Big Beep Hockey.
Yes, I've been looking at that. Now,
I've been looking at it myself. That was one
because
of the considerations. Was I might want to purchase a season of that and give that a whirl.
because I was reading about it. I'm like, you know what? I think I might be able to understand this one. Not that I can't, but I want something to play. I don't care about obviously I want it to play quick. Hello, our good friend Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming. Hope all goes well with football. He's a high school football coach, wonderful human being,
Oh,
and
Anthony, how you doing? I haven't seen him for a while. So
and
good to see
creator
you.
of Glory Days Boxing, the best card and dice boxing game out there, in my opinion. I love it. Looking forward to his middleweight set. So yeah, so what's it called? It's Big Beep Hockey. Did I say it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't even check. They probably that ASG. It's under ASG Games. They're pretty good with demos. So I didn't look, but I'm assuming there's a demo. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
You can get all the charts and everything for free, and I think they give you like a couple teams so you can try it out.
Okay.
But it's all really reasonable priced. I think it's like $10 or $12 for a full season. You just have to print them out and cut them out yourself. I'm like, you know what? For 10 or 12 bucks, I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah. Hello, Comics with Bueller, another wonderful channel in our community. Yeah. So have you played the demo?
I have not.
No.
I haven't. I just haven't played it. No.
But it does pique your interest, right?
It does pique my hockey, because there is not a lot of them out there. You got to kind of jump on what you can.
Yeah. And there's another one on there. But that one didn't tickle my fancy reading it as much as this one did. So
yeah, it seemed more like a broad overview one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it quick play, but it seemed like it was more of like a decades type thing where how does your team do in the decade or something. I don't know.
It was different. I didn't. So just to get back to our good friend Anthony from Bleacher Bums Game again, he's a football coach. He says, "Good guys, football is a work in progress. They got a lot of younger players this time around. Though we did rush for 442 yards in a win last week. That's awesome. That is freaking awesome."
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just back to that. I look forward to the Strat games you play. I have my old Strat basketball. I've played it a bit. I thought about streaming it, but like you were saying, you got to spread the cards out, and I'm still trying to figure it out. And you know what? I was playing Basic, and again, I bought some Strat seasons. I'm not going to tell you how many because I have a problem. But I'm going to enjoy them. You know why? Because I was gonna buy some other seasons from a different company, and I'm like, you know what? But this is the game I grew up with. This is the game I like.
Mm-hmm.
let me just get this for now. I do like the basketball game. And again, I'm playing basic. When you're playing by yourself, you can come up with like some sort of there's a way to use the black die to say, oh, this or that. So let me just play basic. It's what, and it's card flipping. It didn't bother me, so I did enjoy that. So I had the itch for that. So I understand. I'm going to look forward to your strat. I think you're going to like it, regardless of our thought processes on the company. I think you will. I think you will enjoy the game, and I look forward to it. Now,
I've played it in the past. Not a lot, but it's been a while, so I don't remember all the fine details. Yeah. So I was actually, if you see, I got my.
Now that's fast action cards, correct?
Reading the rule book and stuff.
Yeah. I do that with baseball still. I'm like, what the hell is this one?
Because I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, this is what happens. Because I don't want to get in the middle of the game and have to look up rules and stuff. So
yeah, it does happen.
I'm playing the super advanced hockey.
Oh,
so if you're interested in learning the super advanced, come on by and check it out.
Yeah, you always do a great job with that. Now that's going to be APA is all rolling of the dice and charts. And now strat, you're going to have fast action cards and some rolling of the dice.
Yes. Yes.
So that's going to be a nice. It's going to be interesting to get your feedback on when you're ready. What gameplay did you find more not engrossive? That's not the right word. I'm in
immersive.
Immersive. Thank you. That's going to be interesting to me. I respect your opinion on everything. Even if you hate me, not me, but like my beloved Red Sox, it's okay. I still love them.
I think, my impressions just off the cusp at APBA hockey, and we're talking about just the hockey game at this point.
Yep.
I'm not talking about the company. I'm not talking about baseball.
Nope. We're talking about the gameplay. That's all we're talking about. Yep.
It is pretty chart based, but being an APBA game, it's one of those games that once you start learning the numbers, when you roll a 42, you know what a 42 is. When you roll a 6, you know what a 6 is. I'm starting to learn a few of the numbers because they come up a lot. And so, that makes the game quicker. But at this point, as a newer APBA hockey player, it's taking me an hour per period, which is just not acceptable
when you're
for my standards for anyone to play it.
Yeah.
But you know what? That said, that's also because I am keeping stats.
Yep.
Which I could do with pen and paper,
and hockey. Again, baseball's. If I'm going to be honest, when I do my baseball streams, card and dice, when I think you've said it and other people said it. If I'm playing offline, right, I'm just rolling and playing. I'm doing the little game thing in my my play, but I can fly through it pretty much. And I don't know if that's what people want to see. Maybe they do, but there's other channels that do it that way, and that's cool with them, and that's cool. I watch, who go faster than I do, and I'm like, well, I do it a little different. I try to give a little play-by-play. My question to you, ID, and we'll get back to hockey. There are things I think I could cut out, but I don't know if we lose the immersion. I give the starting lineup and I give the stats a bit. To me, I like that because maybe you don't remember 1983 or know who these ball players are. So that was one of the things I thought I've been thinking about like not doing, but then I always go back to it because I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't want to, like when I watch Dead Ball, right? When someone's doing Dead Ball. Now I know Ty Cobb and I know the Whites, the 1919 White Sox a bit, but I do enjoy hearing when someone just gives me a little bit of the stats, like this guy hit this and, that way I know, oh, he's a good ball player, so, but yeah.
Here's my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think you should change anything. The way you do things is great. And I think, I think just everyone in the FOC and everyone that probably comes will tell you the same thing. You do take longer to play a normal game than normal baseball, but that's because you put all this extra in. So I think, as you said, there's other YouTubers. If somebody wants to go watch a baseball game, they can go just watch a baseball game. If they want to be more immersed and they want to be more understanding, what this player did, I mean, just some of the stats and some of the information you come up with. This guy,
Yeah.
oh yeah, he was a rookie last year and he hit 328 and had
Yeah.
12 home
No,
runs.
it's just I just want to ask you that because there are things, and I didn't cut it out as you noticed. I'm like when I'm playing offline, I go through the thing and I'm like sitting there going, I don't like when I don't do that. You know what I mean? Like I think people want to hear. I like to know what someone does, especially with the older stats. I just want to ask that. Thank you for your feedback. I look for feedback from yourself and other people, and I enjoy that. So
I think everyone should have their own shtick, and I think if we're all the same, then we're all the same person. I think everyone needs to have their own stick and be their own way.
Yeah. I'm going to interrupt for a special announcement. Comics with Bueller, a good friend, an FOC member, friends of the community, friends of all of our channels, right? His good friend, my good friend, Sam's Tangled Web, is 4 subs away from 500. So if you type in Sam's Tangled Web, and if he's in the chat, he would go, please, if you have not subbed Sam's Tangled Web, let's give him that 4 subs he needs and more, because he is a genuinely wonderful human being, along with Comics with Bueller, along with ID Gesture, and along with all the great people in our chat. This is what the FOC is about. We're different from everybody else. We are. We support one another. So absolutely, please check out Sam's Tangled Web. And if I had YouTube up, but you can't do it with StreamYard because it messes it up, I would put the link in the chat. Comics with Bueller, I believe you're a mod, so you can put the link in the chat if you'd like. Anyway, thank you for that heads up.
I think, speaking of Comics with Bueller, I think you need to have him on again. I love listening to him. He's
the best. I tell you, I'm so happy to get you on ID. And I want to get Ken. I like to get more different people on. Hell, if I could put 20 people on at the time and just like pseudo produce the stupid show, right? I'd be ecstatic. Comics with Bueller is extremely. I tell you, he puts out so much content when it comes to comics. And if you like comics and you want to, something happened to the Dodgers. Something good happened with the Dodgers because they're all cheering. And I don't have my glasses on, but I think it's a home run because everyone looks pissed for their. Oh yeah, that's a by birdie. Oh no, base hit. That's a base hit that must have knocked someone in. So it was only a little bippity boppity boom. But yeah, Comics with Bueller. If you like comics and you want to jump into it, he has Bueller boxes, very reasonably priced. You check it out, you make the decision. And I have to have him try to find me a Planet of the Apes comic book from the 1970s. That's reasonably priced. Anyway, yeah. Oh my God, it's when I was a kid. We're not going to get in a comic book discussion because I'm not that smart. I'm not knowledgeable like a lot of other people are. But man, if I could get me a hold of just one of those comics, the Planet of the Apes, there were Marvel. There were 2 of them I read, but Marvel's the one I remember. So
yeah, there was growing up when I was just a youngster. We'd go stay at my grandma's house every once in a while, and she would have these 3 comics sitting on her nightstand by the bed we slept in.
Yeah.
On the nightstand, there was these 3 comics. One was Archie.
Yeah, I had an Archie.
I
remember Archie.
It was I'm trying to remember what they were, but I remember every single time going there and reading these 3 comics. I'm like, but you know how grandmas are. They had the same things for like 45 years.
Hello, Lady Wolverine. Oh my! Speak of the English, Al. You not just to come off the boat, huh? Huh? Here's a dish. Hello, Lady Wolverton's Den. Great Game of Thrones fan. Check her out. Very knowledgeable. She does a book club. I watch that once in a while. I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about. I mean, I do, but I don't, because they when they go through a book. I mean, a book. If I've read it, I've read the Game of Thrones book. Like they go into detail. I'm like, I sort of remember that. I mean, I remember the gist of it, but yeah, it's fun. So. You're right.
Wonderful channel there. Yes.
Yeah, when you go to grandma's house, you're right. They always had the same, but it was all out of love. At least our I'll speak for me, and you, as you just said, grandmas were great. I wish I still
Grandmas
had
are
my
great.
grandma. So cherish them, cherish everyone you love. But yeah, so yeah, we got Comics with Bueller. He's one of the, I tell the story. He in one of the chats or a comment, I can't remember. He says, "Can I come on your show?" Oh no, I was watching his show, and he said on. Now I remember on his show. And he has Comics with Bueller, and he has a couple other channels. So when you go to Comics with Bueller, check out. He has. It's like Nerd Talk, and he talks about comics. It's a more intimate kind of thing. It's pretty cool. And he has a couple other. But check them all out. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. But yeah, he goes, "Can I come on your show?" And I'm like, I thought he was kidding, right? I'm like, yeah, okay. He goes, no, I'm serious. I'm like, okay. And he's wicked fun, and Sam's fun, and it's just a different. When you get a bunch of people who you think are all different, and you realize, my God, there's a lot of similarities to all of us, regardless of whatever in life. Most people, I'm going to tell you right now, there's more similarities with people than not. We got to get past the other hangups. It's just a lot of fun to get someone else's view on things when it comes to gaming or sports or movies or anything.
Yeah, absolutely,
It's fun.
I think he's a blast to listen to. And the funny thing is, you would think, oh, he's just a comic book nerd,
Oh
but
no,
this guy,
he's
he knows
smart.
everything.
He is.
There seems to be about everything, and
We've
the
had
way he presents it is so articulate.
absolutely. He
is detailed. I mean, it's incredible some of the stuff he comes off with. He's got like a Wonderful Mind or something like that movie out there. It's incredible. I just yes, definitely highly recommend you get him back on sometime soon.
absolutely. Well, we'll get him on with you. We'll have a lot of fun.
We can do that. I would love to talk with him sometime.
Evengi Crosby, another fun card collecting channel. So check him out. Again, support one another. You can't. Here's my point about that. We're not going to get into a whole hug and love fest, but we can if we want. You can't always watch everything. I get that. I get that. But you know what? If you go by and you put your notifications on, go by, watch a bit, whatever you can. But always hit that thumbs up. That's important to a content creator. And it's fun if you give them the thumbs up. Now, I'm going to be honest. If you don't like something, okay. Okay, you didn't like it. Don't give it a thumbs down. We don't do that stuff. We don't do that at all. Which I don't think anyone in the FOC would. But yeah, go by, check it out. There are more creative people on YouTube in the FOC and in YouTube in general. There's a lot bigger channels than the FOC. FOC. ID Gesture's the patriarch. He is. He's one of the first. We tell the story. I'm going to tell the story. So I'm watching ID Gesture. I think the first thing I saw him do was sports, I think. But, then he had a lot of different, he has military strategy videos, and then he has a first-person shooters and all kinds of stuff. And I'm watching, I'm like, and he had the chat up. It's something all new to all of us, right? And I just went in there. We started chit-chatting away, and he's sharing pictures we hit it off pretty well. I'm going to tell the Clinton Park story because there might be some.
I know where this is going already.
It's funny, right?
Yeah.
So it's just me and him. So now we're like, hey, what's this mod? Like we're talking amongst ourselves, chatting. You go, okay, like he's a moderator on my channel. I'm a moderator, because you need that at times, right? And we're not really. I mean, I kind of know how that worked, right? Because I was a moderator on a bigger channel. With Game of Thrones stuff and all other things and Walking Dead. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool, because sometimes things happen. I'll leave it at that. So Clinton Parks comes in, right? And Clinton Parks, if you don't know, is a stickler for baseball history and pronunciation of names. Well, if you haven't watched ID Gesture myself, now I'm going to tell you something right now. When ID Gesture does it now, I mean, there might be sometimes he doesn't like me. I don't know how to pronounce a name. He's teasing because he'll change the pronunciation like 4 different ways. And people in the chat are like, oh my God, he's killing me. And I'm like, he's pulling your leg. He's trolling you. It's hilarious.
No, I'm just really, really bad with names.
Me too.
Really, really bad.
Oh,
Victor,
in front of the channel
is really bad.
FOC too.
And it just drove Clinton nuts, didn't it? Oh my God.
So I think he's trolling you, ID. I think I'm like I'm ready to whammy him. I'm like, can't be trolling my friend, but he's not. Clinton Park's wonderful. The Admiral, wonderful person. Yeah, but it's just fun. All the cool people I have met, and it's just fun. And again, we go anywhere with a chat with Al. Now this won't be a Saturday type chat with Al. Where last week was actually kind of fun. I just wanted to come on like, hey, what are jobs that don't exist anymore? And we went from there. You had a good one. You looked up some bizarre. Old school,
like a scribe, right?
Yeah, someone who copies. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was cool. We had some good ones. TV repair guy.
Yeah, you did a good one.
That was the one.
PCR repairman.
Yeah, I was stuck on Town Crier. I was like, because I'm like, I could do that. I could but when I was a kid, I would think of these jobs like I'd see in the Abbott and Costello movies. Going, I could be a soda jerk. I could give people soda. I could do that. Anyhow, that's a little levity. It was fun.
Hey, since we're getting comics with viewers, friends, some subscribers.
Yes.
Why don't you tell them about Sports Time Machine and see if
Mr. Utah Mike. Again, because the way this is set up, please. Sports Time Machine is trying to get to 500. 200. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember the thing. He's trying to get. Thank you very much, ID Gesture. Our good friend, Mr. Utah Mike, Sports Time Machine, wants to get to 200 subscribers. And if he does, he has a giveaway. Don't just sub for the giveaway. Okay. It's a nice giveaway, too, when he has the little raffle thing. Because anyone who does a giveaway, that's nice. They don't have to do that. But he does a wonderful job. Very knowledgeable about sports. It's something he enjoys. And again, you feel the enjoyment coming out of his voice when he does it. And so let's get him to 200 subscribers. And Bobby, if you're still in the chat, can you please put his link? Because again, in StreamYard, I'm going to shoot them an email. This is about two things. One, I'm like a karate movie right now because my lips are not in sync with I'm like, you get my master now. Now you die. Like that, like a karate movie. No offense to anyone. That's the way the karate movies went when I was a kid. Okay. That's the way they went. Yeah, so if you can subscribe to Sports Time Machine, check it out. It's a fun channel. If someone could put the link in the chat, again, in StreamYard, I can't do that because they don't. When you use StreamYard, it's wonderful, but they do recommend just use StreamYard. Don't have YouTube up because it kind of will mess up the process. Though I don't think the out of sync has anything to do with that, and I'm going to shoot them an email saying on my last two, I'm out of sync, but we can't start over. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it. Thank you, ID. Thank you very much. And anyone who's a content creator in the chat, we have Comics with Bueller. We have other people. Bobby's a content creator. T-Dub, What's Blazing Sports. If all you have to do in the YouTube chat is go to their name and three little dots come up, click on it, go to their channel, check it out. You like it, subscribe. Simple as that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I think what you said earlier is spot on. A lot of our FOC are smaller community members. Now, mine's a little bit bigger than some of yours, but I send people over there all the time, and
you're great with that.
If I'm gonna go check out your video, it's only gonna take me like literally 3 seconds to click on the like button.
Yeah,
because content is passed out by YouTube based upon how many times it is liked or disliked.
Yep. And
so the more likes you can get, the more it might just randomly pop up on somebody's channel.
And we're all listen. If we could all make $1 gazillion at this, if I made $1 gazillion at this, I'd hire everybody. You'd all be part of the production team. I'm not joking. But to support one another is important. There's so much negativity. That's not what we do. We'll have good debates back and forth about games and gaming, mostly gaming companies. Or just debate. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about negativity. There's someone who says, oh, why did you not do this or do that? Okay, I can take that. That's fine. Why did you just run this play? Because I wanted to lose the game. No, because I'm stupid. I ran the wrong play. I apologize, right? But if it's in good-natured fun, and most of actually FOC is in good-natured fun, and it's important to support one another. It's like ID said, it takes a second. Watch 5-10 minutes. Again, if you can't just click the like button and go back. I try to watch a lot of stuff because I enjoy it. I'm going to be honest. I watch some sports. I watch some movies. You know, the one show I watch now is The Walking Dead because that's something I enjoy. Okay. But other than that, I there's more fun to watch content creators on YouTube. A big channel I watch that I totally enjoy, You Always Win. It's a zombie channel. They make me laugh. They're about my age. They talk about stuff I can relate to. So it's just important to support one another. Here's another wonderful channel right here, Mackenzie Burns, another big Game of Thrones fan. She's Canadian, north of the border. Wonderful young lady. She's my Twitter daughter. I don't know. Bobby's my Twitter wife. I didn't even know we had a kid. Those were like those phone calls I used to. Never mind. I'll be quiet. But yeah, another wonderful channel along with Johnny Be Crazy, Cylon Johns. He does that. Also, John St. Baptiste. Great channels. Just fun stuff. So check it out.
I know, you know, as we progress through the months now, our FOC is getting bigger and bigger. So it's hard to keep track of what everyone's doing. It's hard to go to everyone's channel. It's hard to do all this stuff. But as Al said, it's really, you know, to go through 4 or 5, it doesn't take very long. Just click through, find out what people are doing, watch some of their intro videos, watch some of their, you know, watch good 5-10 minutes of it. What I do, I have a job where I'll be at my desk and then I'll get called away. So what I'll do is I'll click on the video, I'll start watching it. I'll just let it run as I walk away because
come back and you
that
listen.
person gets credit for all the time that I'm watching it. So I might as well just let the video run.
Yeah.
So
I
try to.
Here's another thing. I know people hate commercials, right? If you like a YouTube channel, as long as they're not nuts with 5 minutes of commercials, let it run the minute. That's how they make. I'm talking about a larger channel, you know, or anyone. If I've seen ID, listen, if I come across anything where ID has a little, I hope you're getting some. I hope it's not someone who hijacked your freaking, you know, because that happens. That's the other wonderful thing on you. All of a sudden, someone hijacks your video. They're going, you blew your nose in a certain tune, and I claim copyright on it. I'm like, you son of a, really?
I had over 200 copyrighted on me.
Yeah, that's nonsense. That makes me puke. So, but what I
would do things like, you know, I would put in like intro, you know, like for example, when I'm doing my baseball series, you know, I'll have like the TV where they go to the game and the crowd's going crazy and everything. Well, that's all copyrighted. So of course I get copyright strikes.
But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you honestly, because You Always Win was talking about it. Yes, I keep talking about them because I love that channel. They make me laugh and stuff like that. But they bring up a lot of stuff when they're playing zombies now, right? That they're talking about YouTube. You have to understand this was a mega channel. And then when YouTube changed their way, they decided instead of letting you decide who you want to watch, they chose, and again, no knock against YouTube. They chose, well, it is a knock against YouTube, but I like YouTube. We get to do this on there. But they chose their chosen ones. And all of a sudden, I even saw it with my little rinky dink channel. When they took monetization away from me, and I was almost there where they had to send me a check, that's all I want. That's my whole goal. I want one check from those guys, right? I'm not even going to cash it. I'm just going to put it up on the thing, right? When they say, oh, no, that doesn't affect you. It does with the thing. But when they choose who they choose, it's not right because those channels get away with things. They are what You Always Win called whitelisted. I don't know if I said that right, meaning you turn the other way. So again, that's baloney. It happens. But
that's the way business runs, man.
Oh, I know.
It's just the way it is. The little
but
guy
you have such a
gets screwed over. The big guys get everything.
Yeah.
So.
You have such a wonderful channel because when I first started watching you, and then we'll get off this, but when I first started watching a lot of people, you guys had a lot more hits. You guys had a lot more hits and views. Now, how does that change when you're doing the same thing the same way? I mean, again, sometimes it happens, but I'm just saying.
I didn't monetize till.
No, I know that. I'm not even talking. Yeah, but I mean, you had a lot of your military strategy stuff has good views on it, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Military strategy, there's a lot of people that follow it, but there's
Yeah.
only like a core group of people, just
Yeah.
like sports sim. There's only a core
Yeah.
group
Oh,
of
we're
people.
only going to go. Yeah.
There's only going to be so many people that are going to watch card and dice stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to either accept that or.
Oh, I accept that. That's
Yeah.
my point. I guess my point is, for certain things, they changed the algorithm. They changed the way they did things. That's all, and everyone knows that. But anyhow, like when you do shooters and I do shooters, or I'll just speak for me. I know no one's going to watch that, but I do it because I think you would say it's a change of pace. I want to do something different, and
I mean, when I did my Warframe stuff live streams, I would get people that I didn't know all the time popping in. So
Yeah.
obviously, they realize Warframe is a bigger money maker for them, so they decide to send it out to people that are like, hey, if you go and watch a military shooter, YouTube remembers that. So the next time somebody else is live streaming a movie,
it hits the
shooter,
Yep.
they're gonna broadcast that to you. If you go to your homepage, half the things on there will be like, oh, this is related to what I was watching before.
Yep.
Oh, this is related to what I was watching before.
The algorithms
if you're watching
work
a lot of
very well.
sports sims,
Yep.
then you're going to get all that on your homepage. But if you go and watch, like I watched somebody had sent me a link on like an alligator attacking a snake or something. So I watched the video. Next time I went to my homepage, I had all these animal attack videos.
Ducks attacking turtles.
Yeah.
Pigeons attacking cats.
Yeah, exactly.
Believe me, I watch all that. I'm like, really? That could be real. Bigfoot goes to prom with Dracula.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to watch that. But
so
anyway.
Your homepage will be all based upon your viewing preferences.
Oh, absolutely. I know that. All right. We talked enough about that, but it was fun to talk about it. Anyway, I love all the content creators in the FOC. It's good stuff. And I try to get around the best I can. And we do support one another, as ID Jester said. Now, ID, thank you very much for bringing up our good friend, Sports Time Machine, Mr. Utah Mike. Please check him out. And he wants to get to 200 subscribers. Let's get him there.
The other thing with if you subscribe to Sports Time Machine, make sure you do. He's a great guy, number one, and he does everything for our community. He was in your Discord today helping some people that were having problems loading some
he's helped me a ton with Strat. He's helped me a ton with Strat with ballparks, because someone had a question. We'll leave it at a certain way, but someone had a question about ballparks. He can help you with that.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. So.
The other thing is he's got a new series he's going to be starting up, which is pretty exciting.
Yes.
He's going to be taking on Braves for life.
Yep.
In a 7-game series. So why don't you tell them about that?
That's coming this Saturday. I don't know if they're playing game 1 and 2. I think they're playing game 1 and 2. I could be wrong, but I know game 1.
I think he said it was a double header. So that
I did understand that right. So that's this Saturday. I want to say 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, it could be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's either 8 or 7 Eastern Standard Time, because I think
starting 4 his time, so that would be about 7.
7. Yeah. So I think it's 7. But if you want, you just go to the channel, check out one of his recent videos, and he'll talk. Actually, he has an 8-minute video where he discusses that. So it's the 8-minute video. Go to that, and he'll tell you the exact time. I think you're right, though. I think it's 7. I think it's 7 Eastern Standard Time.
They're going to be playing Stratomatic
PC
computer.
Yep.
Against one another, actually on the computer. So
Yankees Braves 1990. Shoot, I forgot the year. It's the year the Yankees came back. They were down 2-0 and they came back to beat the Braves. They won the next 4 and they beat them 4-2. I think that's the game. The year Leverett hit the pinch hit home run that turned the tide of battle, I think, for the Yankees. I think. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up. ID has such a good memory. Love him.
Once it goes in, it never goes out, buddy.
I know that with you. I know that. So, but yeah, awesome. So, what else? I know what I want to talk about.
Go ahead.
What? Okay. So, what was your, not a video game. Well, I guess it could be a video. When you were a kid, we all played games. They were talking about this on Digital to Dice. It wasn't really a sports broadcast, but it was a lot of fun if you haven't checked that out. the most recent one with Uncle Ron Juckett and Uncle Dave Gardner. And they had a young lady on who I never remember her name, but she's been friends with Dave Gardner, and they do another podcast. They were talking about games.
Game Hounds is
That's fun. That's fun. I enjoy that one. They were talking. What game? They were bringing out games. One of my favorite games to play as a kid. I loved Risk. I also loved. You remember the game Sorry?
Oh yeah, Sorry.
So
yeah.
that was one of my favorite games to play as a kid, and we had more trash talking. Risk and Sorry brought out the trash talking in people because you could send someone back. Like in Sorry, you're like, yeah, get your ass back there, Mr. Yellow. How does that feel, Yellow, mellow, yellow? But that was. I was thinking about the games I enjoy, and Sorry and Risk were my two. Now, when Axis and Allies came out, that was right up there too. And Dark Tower, and we've talked about Dark Tower before on my channel. Dark Tower was absolutely phenomenal. That was where, my God, we got this little computer thing in the middle. Now, have you ever played Dark Tower? Do you know what I'm talking? It's Dungeons and Dragons.
Familiar.
It's Dungeons and Dragons, basically dumbed down for someone like me. Meaning, you had this. Orson Welles did the commercial. You can find the commercial on YouTube. And it was Milton Bradley made the game, I believe. And you had a board. It was circular, right? And in the middle, you put the tower. And the tower was on a rotating base.
Yeah.
And so you did everything on the tower.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember a lot. I remember that tower.
A lot of fun.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah. So those were the games, and we played that for hours when we weren't playing sports or doing some other stupid stuff as kids.
Yeah, I mean, those games were, I mean, for me and you and our age, that was what we did as kids. We didn't have computers, we didn't have iPads, we didn't have phones, so we had to find other ways to keep ourselves occupied.
Clinton Parks. He missed our story. My favorite story.
Clinton, we were talking about you, buddy. Were your ears itching?
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. That was Battleship was another fun one they brought up. I remember that was fun.
Yeah. I mean, I played all of these games all the time. I mean, if it was a board game or card game, what was it, Miles Burrow, where you try to have your like collect the mileage, but it was kind of like rum. You remember that one?
That one I don't. We played Uno. We played a couple of different versions of Gin. We played Stratego.
Yeah, we played Rummy. We played
Gin Rummy and Gin. Yeah, and we played this other game. I can't remember it, but you basically put pennies and you played for pennies because we were poor. So we played for pennies.
Yeah, I remember in middle school we played like blackjack at lunchtime. And we would have these, 8.5 by 10 sheets of paper, and you just have all the little plus 10, plus 10, all the way written down the side. And at the end of lunch, you count them all up. Because
you owe me
10 cents a hand, right?
Yep. How about this one? Do you remember? We had an ethnic name, but I'll call it tabletop football. You made a little football out of paper. It's a triangle. And you had to hit
3 hits to get it so it would lean on the table but not go over.
And if the guy could flip it, you had to be able to flip it. That was a touchdown, and then you kick the extra point or you could kick a field goal. Yep. We played that for hours.
Yeah.
You know what'd be funny? If I don't have the camera, I would do a game. I'd get someone, come on, let's play an old school tabletop. Yeah. We call it something different. It was an ethnic name, and I'm not going to use it because someone might get offended. And I don't want anyone to get offended. But it was fun. It was fun. It was 4 hits. I think we did 4 downs. Sometimes we play because ID's right. Some people play. That was the house rules. You go over someone's house and we played 3. I go, what's this, Canadian football? We play 4 downs in America.
Maybe it was 4. Maybe it was.
There were some people who did it, but we played 4 most of the time. And you played on a kitchen table or something. We always played like on a kitchen table or a dining room table, and you smacked it. And you had to get it to the edge of the table. You couldn't knock it over. It had to just be leaning over. And then the test was you flipped like it was close. You'd go over. You never trusted your friend. You'd walk over and you see if you could flip it up. And if you did, it's 6 points. And then the guy would go like this. Am I getting that? Like this, right? And then you do the little ping and you kick it and you like try to catch him right in the schnoz. Yeah.
Yeah.
extra point and field goal. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Did you ever play marbles with coins on the table?
Yes,
And you had your little circle, and then you take
we
your
played a
coin,
version of that.
and you
Yep.
had to try to knock the other guy's change out of
Yep.
the circle, and then you get to keep his change. So
Yep.
that was.
Speaking of our good friend, Mr. Sports Time Machine, remember, please, now he's in the chat now, so you can click on his name, and you get the 3 buttons to the side. Let's get him to 200 subscribers, and that's brought to you by ID Gesture, because he remembers things, and I forget things. That's why we have ID on the channel. And also, Sports Time Machine, if you can tell us Saturday what time is the doubleheader start for the World Series replay with you and Braves for life, Yankees, Braves. So thank you very much, Mr. Utah. I hope you're feeling better. You went to the dentist. Excuse me. The other thing we did, because they were again, this is all triggered from Ron and Dave doing their digital dice. And again, it wasn't really sports related. It was just games they played as a kid, right? Or game.
Right.
And now board gaming, again, the woman from Game Hounds brought up how board gaming is making a comeback. And I have to be honest, they brought up a certain card game, which is more of an adult kind of fun card game that my nephews play. They probably shouldn't be playing it, but they find it highly funny. And it is kind of disturbingly funny. Board gaming to me is making a comeback. So, but the other thing, before I forget, we used to draw up on in a pad, right? We dropped these little scenarios, and someone would make a TIE fighter, a circle in something that resembled a TIE fighter, and then someone would make a triangle with X-Wing fighter kind of thing. And we literally would take a sharp pencil, hold it down, and you basically, I don't know how to describe this, but you kind of hit the pencil and it would make a mark, and that's where you moved. And if you were in range to shoot someone, you put the pen and you try to shoot them with. We played that on break at school for hours, and then you'd play it at home. Again, we had Pong. We loved Pong, but that's all we had was Pong.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of those weird games we made up too. So
I mean, that's what we had to do as kids, though. I mean, there wasn't all this, electronic stuff, so we had to find ways with pens and paper and pencils and dice. That was about the extent of what we could get our hands on as little kids. So we had to come up with things.
Yep, Sports Time Machine. Sorry to interrupt. He says around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be game one. They're going to be playing a doubleheader. So, and here's a BJ Wallen. I'll give you that one IDJ. I love dyslexia. It's so good. My Cubs did in fact win one, by the way. Feel for you. The Red Sox. Well, you can't always make it. I wish they did. Thank you for stopping by. Good friend BJ
thanks
Wallen.
a lot. Appreciate it.
Oh, here's one. The original Grognard, Flick the Pencil. Oh God, we used to play the hell out of that one. Yeah, you basically, and I if I had the right camera, I would show you our goofy games we play, and they were fun. And you could play by yourself too, because you just set up both sides and just flicking away. I mean, it would drive my parents nuts because they'd hear me ping, 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 ping. But it was fun. You basically drew up a scenario, and obviously, like, you could do tanks, you could do any. You know what it was like? The best way I can describe it, Atari had a game called, it came with the game, it was like Planes and Tank Battle or something like that. And you played with tanks or planes, and basically you shot at each other, and you had to have someone else to play with. And I think that was part of the thing we thought about was, we can draw our own little scenario. So if you put a mountain, obviously you can't shoot through the mountain. You had to go around it and stuff like that. But yeah, it was flicking, as OG said, flick the pencil. It was that's the best way to describe it.
Oh, Army Men. Oh my God.
Oh yes.
Army and oh my God. Armies. Cowboys and Indians. Yeah. I had them all. That's a great one, Todd B. That's a great one. Remember, check out OG. Great military strategy channel. We got to get you on with you and OG. And if you haven't seen the announcement.
Yes, great announcement. Lock and load. OG's there. I don't know his exact title, and I don't want to butcher it, but basically he's part of Lock and Load now. That is awesome.
And Lock and Load is an excellent system. I used to play that a bunch on my channel, and the Lock and Load company puts out excellent products for and very reasonably priced, and probably one of my top 5 war games of all time.
What did you like? We'll just talk a little Lock and Load for a second. But before we do that, our good friend Sports Time Sheet Triangle. We talked about that table football, the triangle, the foot.
Yep, we talked about it.
Yeah, that's funny. It's just anyone who can think of these games they played as a kid, put in the chat. We'll talk about it. Yeah. So what did you like about Lock and Load? And see, now I get to pester OG about, are you guys going to do DNBN Foo, please, on the PC, or even if I can understand it on tabletop, because I want to play it. Thank you.
Well, I really like their tactical World War II. I'm a World War II guy.
Yep.
Tactical. I'm a tactical guy. So anything tactical World War II, but they had a really good system. It was not too complex, but it was playable in a quick time. It wasn't one of these, a lot of war games. You can set them up, and it's going to take you like 3 hours just to get through one turn. Lock and Load is a lot quicker than that. The rules are pretty solid. You don't have to, there wasn't a, what do I do with this again or anything. And once you learn the system, they had like modules from East Front, West Front, Desert Warfare, Soviet early war, late war. I mean, it was just so much. Once you learn the basic system, you can get in and play 20 different games and 20 different modules and thousands of different scenarios. So, and the counters were beautiful. The maps were beautiful. I mean, they put a lot of.
Yeah, OG produced a game scenario. That's not the right way to put it, but the map, everything. It's getting game tested now. Obviously, he's done a good job. And they had, if you go to the original Grognard site, you can probably link up to, I can't remember. I think it's Lock and Load. But they did a 2-hour. I've been watching a little bit at a time. They did a 2-hour stream talking about military strategy gaming. Because there's that other military strategy game that I downloaded a demo for, and I found it very difficult to understand just little things. Like, I want to move. Okay, I've told this to OG. I'll tell it to you. I like Order of Battle because it's like if it says, okay, you can move here, here, and here, and this is what happens when you move here, here, and here. Now, the other one, which I wanted to like because they had a scenario I wanted to buy, I just, I had so much difficulty just why can't I move here? What am I doing wrong? I should be able to move here. It's unoccupied. And I'm not going to say who it is because it's a good game. It's a good game. It just takes more time to understand it. So I think it's important, just like with sports sims games or military strategy games or any sim type games, the better and quicker you understand it, you take a liking to it. You can understand. Now, everyone understands differently. So a game that someone might understand better than I do, they like it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't, it's not for me. So I'm not denigrating any game. I'm just saying I'll just go back to Strat. It's a game I played as a kid. When I play the other games, and I played a lot of different games, I like them, but I always fall back to what I'm familiar to because I'm like, okay, I know how this works. So I think that's important. And ID with roster card baseball, just to get back to that for a moment, you had some questions about certain rules, how to be interpreted. Some of it was vague, is the word I'll use.
Yeah.
And to his credit, the creator is going to redo some of that stuff. Thank you very much, ID. But that's what I'm talking about because that's a game that's very affordable, and if it's your style of play, you will enjoy it.
Absolutely.
So, but there were some questions. So ID, that's what I'm talking about. Like when you understand something.
So. Yeah. I mean, that's what I was talking about when we were talking about the Lock and Load. Very quick to understand because they give you examples. They show you how things should play out. So there's no questions as to, can I move? Like, is a half hex, is that in play or is it not in play? I mean, that's like War Game 101. there's certain things once you start playing war games,
Line of
you
sight
start
too.
knowing hexes, a hex, a half hex on the
Yep.
edge of a map. Is that playable? Can I go into that hex or not? You need to know that, right? So, if the game doesn't tell you that information, then you have some people that play it that one way and some people that don't play it other ways. So that you know, so that's why the roster card wasn't exactly giving me the information that I thought it should, and so at least they're gonna be updating that. In fact, I got an email from them yesterday
Oh, cool.
with the 2019 season. He's already got that come out, so I can start replaying the 2019 season.
And can you just, because you have all of it, someone gave me a season to check it out, and I want to like it. It's just there were some things again, this is the great thing with roster card baseball, and ID will tell you more about it real quick after you. When you buy it once, it's yours. And you understand what I'm saying, ID? Like don't you get all the new seasons after you buy it? Like if you buy the whole package,
I think they call it like the ultimate pack or whatever. You get all future seasons coming out as well.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Again, it's a little, you get everything, so it's a little more pricey. You can buy seasons, I want to say, for $5, and he has different tiers. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, ID. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's $5 per season. You can get let's see, I think it's
then he has like $20 for X
6
amount, 10
seasons
for
or 5 seasons for 20, I think is what it is. 5 seasons for 20. And then there's like another package for I don't know, $30 or something, but you can get everything for $99 basically.
Yep.
So that's from the year 1900 all the way to current. And like I said, you get like I said, he just released the 2019 season.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So with the 2019, it'll have the updated rules.
Yeah. So the updated rule book came out. Yep.
So how would, if someone already has it, they just download it, I would assume?
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to post it on his website and on the Delphi forums. I'm sure he's going to have a copy there as well. So
cool.
Or you can just email me and I can email it to you.
Yeah, and ID is good about that. I tell you the other thing ID does. He takes charts from these baseball games and other games, but I know he's done it with baseball, and he makes them better. He makes them better as he's showing you one now. He makes them better. He puts them either on one sheet or he condenses them or he changes it. It still plays the way the game's supposed to play, but he makes it more easy to understand. ID, and he's very great with the community that he emails it out to everybody, and that's awesome. Yes, that's IDs. I have that one. That one I did print out.
You got that one? Yeah.
That's Payoff Pitch, I believe. Is that the Payoff Pitch one? Yes, see, I remember. You think I'm not? No. See, I have that one because I play a little bit Playoff Pitch, and so again, ID does a great job analyzing things and making things work the way he wants them to work, and there's nothing wrong with that. And most people who have used his charts like them a lot. That's the feedback he has gotten. I know because I see the email.
I probably get 2 or 3 emails a week now from people. Hey, I saw your video. Can you send me the chart?
So yeah.
I probably should have just sent them to the designer, back in the couple months ago, but I just haven't got around to doing that because I'm still thinking. My brain is I'm like you out. My brain is always thinking. I'm always thinking, well, let's see. So.
But you do a great job with that. So kudos to you. I just find it because, again, I'm trying to make a football game, and I've modded my old school football game.
How's it coming? How is it? Talk to it.
Here.
That was pretty exciting there for a while. You were coming out.
And then you know what happens? I'm like, oh, I've made great progress, right? And then I'm like, oh, I didn't incorporate this way. I'm like, God, it's fudge knocker. And I'm like, then you go back to the drawing board. I have it.
And you got to do it all over again.
I don't know if it's ever going to come to fruition.
game hasn't come
Yeah.
out because every time you
It-
go, oh, you know what? I need to change that. It changes everything.
because it changes the formula. I'm trying to do it a certain way to minimize. When you play a sports sim, I'll keep it at that, because other games are different. You know, like if you play Dungeons and Dragons, you have a dragon, someone who is like the narrator of the game. That's not the right terminology, but you know, someone who if you get off on the right, you know, if you start to, you know, he puts you back, or he or she puts you back in the right direction. The moderator, the dungeon master. That's what I'm looking for.
I was waiting. I wasn't going to tell you because I wanted to hear how long you were.
My brain works a little different. I get there. An ID, and hopefully you can get a couple other folks and nail down the time for that,
Oh,
because
let's
that was a
see.
lot of
One of
fun.
these days, maybe. One of these days.
So if you're interested in playing Dungeons and Dragon with ID's crew, which right now consists of Ron, Uncle Ron Juck, and his lovely wife Sarah. Christ, I forgot who else now. ID.
Tabletop Sports
Tabletop
Co-op.
Delaware, our good friend Chris. They're looking for, I think, 2 more players, possibly 1 to 2 more players.
Yep,
It-
for Sunday nights
Yep.
because that's
That's
with
the time.
Ron's wife. That's the only time she can do it.
Yeah.
So
So let's try to get at least 1 more person, because I need something to watch on Sundays before Walking Dead comes on. And you know what? I can preempt Walking Dead and watch it whenever the hell I want. So it's a beautiful thing.
you just record it and watch it later, right?
That's all. As long as Negan's on. If Negan ain't on, I fast forward through it. I'm like, where's my boy Negan? So, but yeah, when you're doing a game, that's why hats off to like Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming and yourself, or anyone tries. You know, I had my formula set a certain way, and it worked the way I wanted it to work, because there's stats. You can find stats on everything. I use a lot of Pro Football Reference, and there's other, but that's the one I use because I'm used to it, right? And I'm like, okay, I run my tests. I let this quarterback throw X amount of passes against a certain type of defense, different types of defenses that I've rated, because I know a certain how they played, right? And you know what came up to my satisfaction. And I tweaked it a bit. I'm like, oh man, I got to put the penalty back in now. Now that kind of throws off but you can't make it perfect, but I'm getting there. But it's fun. I remember, I think I had some downtime from YouTube where I wasn't streaming for other reasons too. So I was working on my game, and I really got into working on my game. And then it was like, God, I spent every waking moment where I'm not at work or doing what I have to do at home on this game, and I'm enjoying it. But then I'm like, I want to play a game. I want to play a game as opposed to
That's
work
the
on it.
biggest problem. I
Yeah.
mean, so kudos to Bleacher Bums Gaming for
Absolutely.
actually. There's one thing. There's probably 20, 30 different game designers that have come in this chat and talked to us tonight.
Yep.
Everyone wants to create a game and has
it's
an
fun.
idea.
Yeah.
It's taking that from the baby step and getting it all the way to where it's actually finished and published.
Yep.
is a tremendous accomplishment, because you've done what only other people only wish they could. Sorry, had something in my throat. So I have to totally take my hands off. Like I said, as you know, I've been working on this hockey game for 6 years now, and I keep working on it, and then I keep putting it aside, and then working on it and putting it aside, and that's probably will never get done, because
But you're enjoying it when you do it, so
I do to a point, but I get to the point where
you get frustrated.
Recreating everything from scratch because you change something
Yep.
is
No,
the
I know.
most
I just
frustrating thing. That's why
I know exactly.
I had talked to Anthony when he was
He's
in
great
the
to talk
beta
to. Yep.
phase, and I talked to him and I said, "Hey, I love the game. It's great. The flow is great, and everything is really cool. But here's just my opinion. This didn't seem right."
Yep.
And so he ended actually incorporating that into the
Absolutely.
game.
And it works.
And I was like, I didn't want to say anything, because as a game designer, I know if you got to change something, that changes everything. And at that point, I was like, I did not want to do that.
I will speak for myself. I do believe he was greatly appreciative of that towards you, because he has mentioned that on his videos. And it is a really, flow is back and forth. I'll just tell you in boxing, you have a dominant fighter. Now he'll control the action the majority of the time, but he could have an off night. He could have a tougher night, and that's where you get bless you, and that's where you get the that was ID's just feedback to Anthony, and Anthony tweaked his marvelous game to make it even better. And it's a lot of fun. And you can play it with, I haven't played it with strategy yet. I have the strategy cards, but I just like rolling the dice. The immersion for me, as again, I'm going out of, people that are like, just get your ugly, just shut down. We don't want to look at you anymore. The immersion for me with the, and I like Title Bout Championship Boxing PC. For $13, you cannot go wrong with that game. You get everything, and again.
Oh yes, you can.
Yeah, you have to be
that game. I ended up buying it because you were like, dude, this is only $13, and I watch you play it, and it's awesome. When I play it, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing.
Oh, I would have showed you how to do it.
Click, and then I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I just like wasted $13.
I'll have to do a tutorial, just like
you should.
Again,
you should.
That is
again. When I watch you play it, it's like awesome, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to do this, but I can't do it.
Yes, you can. The thing with that is it's very much a pure sim. I know that you can do a few things where you can control. Oh, you know what? I will do one of those. I didn't real. I will do one. I did one where I did Sugar Ray Robinson. Again, I did a what if. People, that was the best one. You get a couple of wonderful. I had to get rid of those comments. But I know Sugar Ray Robinson didn't fight Ingemar Johansson for the heavyweight title. It was, could this have possibly happened? Yes, it could have. In that time period, I made, I looked at what, again, it's something to say, what if? I get it. A middleweight stepping up to heavyweight. Guess what? Back in the day, they did it all the time. Not all, but they did it. And if Sugar Ray Robinson fought at light heavyweight against Joey Maxim and Law, if the right money's out there, boxers want to make money. So it was just a what if scenario. And that's the closest thing I've done ID to like a tutorial on, this is why I'm doing this. Like I fought as Sugar Ray Robinson, and I had to use, again, you can fight outside defense or offensively. You can go for a knockout. You can go for an all-out knockout. You can go fight inside, fight normal. Obviously, if you go for a knockout, bigger reward, higher risk. But you have to know your fighter. I wasn't going to knock out Ingemar Johansson with a middleweight stepping up to heavyweight, but it was fun. We had some fun with it. But yeah, I can do a tutorial on that. But it's not the one thing. If they do come out with a new version of that game, and I would get it, I don't care the price point, even if it went up double or even more than double. If they did certain things, I would like to be able, you can to train my fighter a little, to say, I want you to concentrate. You can do a little bit about like train for power, defense, speed, tactical. Tactical just means ring generalship. But when you do something like that, it takes away a little bit from some, possibly. If your fighter's really, really good, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Playing with a really good fighter is boring. You can do anything and you're going to win 95% of the time. I like to play, if you've ever seen me stream games, I like to play mediocre to weak teams because, it's fun. Now, it sucks that the computer kicks my ass in football a gazillion times in a row. In my last little tournament, I had fun with it. It cheats. That's all I'm saying. It cheats. But no, it's interesting because but with the boxing, what I would do with that one, they keep telling me, because I thought it was dead, and Anthony says, no, it's not dead because he saw something. I've seen some. It's been forever. I would tweak it a certain way. One, I would let you customize the little figures where you could put different trunk colors and things. You can do it now. It's extremely difficult because if you foobar a little bit something, you've just killed your game. I went in, fooled around a little bit with it, and I was like, you know what? I got lucky with that one. I'm not going to, because you got to kind of go in, not into the programming of it, but the picture. You can mess your game up really bad. So I stopped that. But I would tweak where you could change the colors of the trunks, change maybe a little different facial feature. Again, it's a really nice game. I would also, you could concentrate training. Like I want my guy to concentrate on the body. Now, if you're fighting on the inside, you're going to hit to the body a little more. But I would literally want just a couple more options, almost like an out of the ballpark type or action PC, baseball or football. We just get a few more options. Again, this is boxing. Your fighter can only do. I've sim bouts offline where I've taken Primo Canera, who's a slugger, right? But I know if he slugs with, like, I'll refight like a Joe Louis fight. Joe Louis stopped him in 6 rounds. I know Joe Louis is gonna, unless by the miracle of miracles behind the closed door, he lands a go home punch, which is very slim. Not that he couldn't, but not against Joe Louis. So I'm like, can I go past 6 rounds? That was my whole goal. Well, I'm not going to go fight aggressive. I'm going to try to lay back a bit. And so you can do a few little things. To me, I get very immersed in the game. I enjoy it. I will, when I'm outside with my dad, I have it on my Kindle. So I'll sit outside. I'll shoot the poop with my dad when he's smoking a cigar, right? And I'm playing away, and he's like watching me get all excited. Like I'm calling the thing in my head, and he go, "You're playing that boxing game?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Who do you got?" I go, "Well, I'm trying to see if Dwayne Bobbitt can actually beat Kenny Norton this, not get annihilated in 53 seconds." But yeah.
Here's my whole history with that game. I watch you play it, and I'm like, wow, that is so good. I got to get that. And Al said it was only $13. So I went and bought it, installed it. I set up the first boxing match. I am ready to go. I'm excited and everything. And click that first button, and they're at it. And I'm like, where's Al?
Yeah.
There's no Al.
Oh,
I can't hear Al talking.
Yeah.
He's got to be here. This is not fun. This is like reading a book. I don't want to read.
It's text-based. Yeah.
Wow.
It's I'm going to get back to that because it's something I do love to do. I have, I think, 6 more fights to do to complete the first round, but I'm looking at the fights. Now, here's a question to you. Now, because they've talked about when a project has come sort of slow down. And that was it's a long-term project. When I announced it, I said, this is a long-term project. That's something I can do all the time because people just won't watch all the time. And you know what? I don't care if they don't watch that because I enjoy listening to myself call fights because I'm narcissistic when it comes to that. But I've been debating whether I still have an Ali fight and a Jack Dempsey fight, which I would broadcast, my radio broadcast, with the game. And the other ones, they're okay. I'm debating with just to do a quick stream to show fast, not just say the results, but then if something exciting happens, like, God, I should have called it. But that's where my dilemma is right now. Have you put, this is a kind of an interesting segue. We go all weird. ID is already used to this. He just laughs. Like when you did the Bo Jackson baseball, which I enjoyed thoroughly with Inside Pitch, you got away from it. You went back to it. You got away from it. You went back to it. And then you grinded it out. And it was and then at first when you were grinding it out, you were like, yeah, I wish I did it with Jackson PC. But then you got in the groove again. And you just enjoyed it. You understood. The way I interpret it was you understood Inside Baseball is a wonderful game. Again, if you like it, you don't like it. I tried the demo. I realized this game's not for me only because I didn't want to play every game. And you can't sim games. It's a beautiful game. The visual is very nice. The card and dice is very nice. You got to do math. And I think if I had played it more, I would have understood it better. But I only had a 3-day demo, so I was getting a little frustrated. But when you got away from that, what made you? Was it to complete the project like most of us? Like, I'm going to complete this damn thing. Was that got you back there? Or do you just said, I'm going to do it because I'm ready?
No, I think it was a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit of both. I got burned out because it played a lot. I mean, when you got up to about game 100, it was like,
you played.
God, I still have 60
he
more
played,
games.
ID played
go from game
every game
to game 100. I was like, those 40 games was like walking uphill in the snow, and it was just. And so I like you said, I took a break here, but then after a break, I was like, yeah, I want to go back and play it. And part of it was to go finish it, but it was also because Inside Pitch is a great game. It's just because it doesn't have any II, you got to manage both teams. It can be a little daunting.
Clinton Park says, I had so much fun with Bo Jackson. The teasing was great. The humor was better. And I had a great time. It was fun.
Gabaza. Mark Gubaza.
Clinton has another. Explain why you don't play NP3 and PNG. You can download the seasons and mix them up. Explains why you don't play. Oh, I don't know what that means. I don't know if he means you
I
played.
don't own NP. I don't own NP3.
You
It's
played that. You played that other sort of version of that APA game.
National Pastime Next Generation
Yeah.
Plus. Yes, I play that. That is
Which
free.
That is free, and if ID brought
Doesn't
that
use
to our
stats like NP3.
Yep.
But MP3 also you got to pay. You got to buy each season, so it can be expensive.
Yep. Well, again, you got to don't kill yourself for your hobby. I'll leave it at that. Oh, Arnold Hunter, hello. And I wanted to get back to this. In the early 70s, Kellogg's Pop-Tarts had sports games, baseball, basketball, football, and hockey that came in the box for free. You played with a deck of cards. Does anyone else in the FOC remember? I do not, but someone had mentioned something about getting the game from. I didn't remember if it was cereal or the Pop-Tarts. But yeah, I remember the one that was on the back, 1977 baseball. Oh, 77. 1978 baseball cards, because that would be the 77 season. And you flip the card, and it would just tell you, like, if you had all the cards, you could actually play a full game. But if you had enough cards, you could kind of mix them up. It was basically fast action. You would flip the card, and it told you the back of the baseball player's card. I have one over there. I think I showed it one time. It would just give you like the guy lines out or something. But yeah, I remember that. I remember cutting the baseball cards out from the Hostess. That I remember. Like a Hostess cupcakes or Twinkies, you would cut the cards. That I remember. I don't remember that. I remember toys out of a cereal box.
Yeah, see, I kind of remember some things like they used to have on the back of the boxes where you could get like a card or something to add to a game you already have. But I don't remember an actual game though.
Which is cool, Arnold. If you could expound more on that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely cool.
I remember I've talked about this, and you can actually buy these still online or in a store. I've seen them in the dollar store, but you can get a little few. But it's basically the same game. It's a wood, like a wood board, like about this size, a peg board. And like, say if it was baseball, you'd have a diamond, okay? And then you'd have holes, and you have the pegs, and it came with dice. And you rolled the 2 dice. And it said single, hit, out, double play. It was very basic, but my God, did I play the living Jesus out of that as a kid. So that's one of my first. We always talk like what that was, and that also as a kid, and there's probably people in the chat, and you made your games up. So like I made up every way I could play baseball. We bounced the ball off the garage. Bounce the ball off the house, bounce the ball off the front stoop, pickle, which was basically, we went from one, there are these weird markings in the street where I guess where not the sewers, but, well, sometimes it was like a drainage. Sewers were off to the side, but they were like these in the middle of the street, and we lived on a side street. And you would run to get from sewer to sewer, and it was pickle, like in a baseball game, you get in a pickle.
You had two guys throwing the ball back and forth.
You had 2 kids,
everyone would try to get off the bait, wait for the guy to throw it, and everyone would run down the other side.
And here, so you
would throw it back, and you got to try to tag someone out.
And here's the hilarious part: it wasn't just one person going back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes we had games.
Like
I'm not lying.
Kids
exactly. You get all the kids, and everyone loved to play. No one wanted to be the one catching because you wanted to run all the time. So you took turns doing that, and then we had to come up with the rule because you always had that kid who never wanted to go, right? You're like,
right.
So you had to go. I think we said after every third throw. So, like if you were still on the same, we'll use the term base. It's not a base. It's the sewer thingy in the middle of the street. If you were still,
we used to play with gloves.
Yeah,
the 2 kids that lost threw their gloves down.
And they would have to go.
Those were the bases, were the gloves. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, same concept. And it was so much fun. It was just, and you'd play. And so
hours.
I absolutely, frisbee.
Back and forth.
And when you just saw everyone, and all you got to do is tag someone. If you tag them out, they're out. They had to sit out. They're done. So The more people that got out, then the game went quicker because again, you had to go within 3, and it was a lot of fun. So you just timed the throw, but it was a lot of fun. We had another game. It was, I don't know how we came up with this one. You hit the ball, right? It's amazing we didn't break any windows. This one in the street, wow. We played with a softball. This is mind-numbing to me. I would never. And basically, you got up to bat and you hit the ball, right? You didn't run. You just hit the ball. And whoever fielded the ball cleanly, or whoever got to the ball, basically, would now have to stand where they were. You would now put the bat down. If I'm the hitter, I would put the bat down. You now play like goalie. And this is, I don't even know how we thought this game up. No, listen, this gets better. Someone had to teach us this game. So it's out there because we didn't. This one, I remember just watching someone playing. We're like, that's stupid. And then we're like, oh my God, this is fun. So then you have the ball ID and you're far, however far away. You would now go into like almost a lawn bowling, a bocce, a bowling ball type mode. Now you roll. This is the reason why we use the softball. And again, when you hit the ball, the point wasn't to hit the crap out of it. You wanted to keep it in. That was another rule. If you hit it out of play, you lose your. So we had it because we didn't want to break windows, right?
Right.
So now you would go into a bowling motion, right? And you had to if you hit the bat, I had to try to catch it. So if it hit the bat and it didn't pop up, you're up at bat ID. You get the bat now. But when you roll the ball hard, and if it hits the bat, it pops up. And you were like a catch. You're like just basically you had to catch that ball and it was in the air. This was one of the goof. It was so much fun.
I've never heard of that.
It was the most bizarre game. We probably did think it up in a sugar-induced high.
Probably.
And that's another one.
The closest thing I can remember is one guy was bat. Everybody else would be down the street.
Yeah.
And then you hit it. And if it was like a ground ball, they got like 2 points. If they caught it on the fly, it was worth 4 points. And if it hit the ground and then bounced before a second time, was worth 3 points. And then once you got up to 21 points, then you would become the batter. So everyone would be down in one end, and the batter would just hit the ball until somebody got their 21 points. Did you ever? No?
Yeah, we played something similar. Just to get back to this question, we'll go back to your. So Clinton Park said the NP3 was for me. Yeah, I tried. I download. Yes, because Clinton actually had the guy from Skeeter Software in his chat a couple of times. It seemed like a nice fella. I can't think of his name. It's an APA clone, and I never really played APA. And I kept asking him, I don't understand the numbers. I'm coming from a strat background and dice baseball where I see the results and I know. And even payoff pitch, because someone was kind enough to gift me that. I appreciate that. I just didn't. I was like, why does that mean this? Why does that mean that? Now, since I played that wrestling game that is free on the replay Field of Dreams replay, I kind of get the Apple a little more, so I might go back to it. But anyway, that's why I don't play it. It's a nice game. People love it. I've watched people play it. I enjoy it. It's just not my cup of tea. So what was the game?
I think it's a solid game. It's just for what you get for the price, you have to be into it. And like Al, I'm just not ready to. I got too many other things to jump into.
And Clinton says is Cyrus, and they have a good thing. If you play a whole season and you give them the stats, and I don't know exactly how this works, I'm giving you my basic version of the way I think it works. And Clinton, there's someone else who plays it could better tell you. Eric from Higher Ground Gaming plays. He's actually got a free season. He actually played, I think, a whole season. Got a free season. If you play a whole season, you give them the stats. You can pick a free season, something like that. So, but
that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah. It's just not my. I'm not knocking the game. I knock very few games. Believe me. It's just not my thing. I have other games.
My thing. Enjoy. Now it's my thing. Al doesn't do that. That's my thing.
You like to stir the pot. That's okay. You do it in a good-natured way.
No, I don't try to stir the pot.
No.
There are certain things.
Yeah, no. You have your opinion.
Cannot tolerate, and I have to say something.
I'll just say about Strat. I've said this before. I love the game. I understand it's a sort of a 50-50 split, but it's measured. Okay, and again, I get that. What I like about Dice Baseball is you have a dominant pitcher. That's a dominant pitcher. Okay, Bob Gibson, 1968. You better hope he rolls high in that, or you're going off his card. And just like in 1968, you're not getting poop. That's a fun.
Payoff pitchers like that too. If you got a dominant pitcher,
yeah,
you get these tough results.
Yeah. So
tough after tough after tough. It's hard to get those hits off of that tough.
Now, that being said, I like Strat. And again, I gave him kudos yesterday. I actually got a nice person, an email, which wasn't really cold. They might have been sarcastic, but I didn't read into it. It was actually the best email I ever got from them. And I'm actually on their emailing list now. They actually have reinstated my email. So I get emails from them. So I gave him kudos for that. I think I have issues. They should get, when you buy a season, and this is my opinion. I love the game. ID's entitled to his opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. If you don't want to listen to our opinions or you disagree, you can say so. Mr. Utah Mike, who loves Strat, he's entitled to his opinion. And in the FOC, we keep it good-natured. You have your opinion. I'm not going to tell someone, oh, you're wrong. I'm going to say why I like something. I love the game. The company needs to do some things better. When you buy a season, I'll tell you what, and again, I don't see their financials. So, and I think someone said, everyone who likes Strat, they're hardcore. I'm not a hardcore. I love the game. I'm not a hardcore Strat company supporter. They're hardcore. You better not talk bad about them. Okay, that's fine. But I think if you buy a season, you should get all the players. They shouldn't do the extra player thing. That's just me. They charge enough for the season. I'm not saying they overcharge. They charge enough, because I've looked at other stuff. They realize they have a customer base. They know what they can milk it for. I just think if you're listening, Strat, just don't do the extra. You know how much goodwill you would bring by just saying, you know what, you bought the season. You bought the season for hockey. You get everybody. You buy the season for baseball. You get everybody. Now, preference this with, I can understand if they don't want to card someone. Some games card everybody. Dice Baseball, my God, they card everybody. But I get PDFs for that. I can understand to a point if a guy had 3 games, right? But I'm going to give you the yin and the yang of it. Guy had 3 games, they might not want to card him. I get that. But here's the yang. If someone's trying to do, as ID Gesture, many people do, a full season replay, and ID does it. He does it with PC. He does it with card and dice. He's done it. Okay. Or he takes a portion of it, like he'll do, and he would try. He's doing St. Louis. He's doing the St. Louis Cardinals, 2005, ID 2005,
2011,
11. Sorry, Cardinals. He's doing the Cardinals, and you're doing a full. Is it that full season?
Full season Cardinals, yeah.
And you're using Strat.
Yeah.
So how are you using the PC to supplement the players you don't, or did you get the extra players for that one?
I have the extra players, but I still don't have all the players. For example, I'm glad you brought this up. When I was playing the Chicago series, there was 2 players that I don't have a card for, but are in the computer, Justin Berg and Wellington Castillo. Both of those cards I didn't get,
right?
Even though I bought the extra cards, but you can get them on the computer. So what I
just want to preference, if you buy the PC, if you buy the PC seasons, you get everybody.
Right.
I mean, if the guy had 1 at bat, you get him. So that
I just took a screenshot of his card and then I'm take it to work, print it out, bring it home, cut it out.
Yeah. So I just think, I don't think it's that much more. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Give that.
It's just all this extra work.
And get rid of the $2 freaking fee.
It doesn't need to be that like that.
No.
And
no.
I mean that I agree with you. I think the game plays great. We'll be playing the hockey game.
I'm looking forward to that.
Purchased 3 or 4 or 5 different seasons of hockey.
What seasons did you buy?
I got the 17-18 here. Yeah. I got let's see what else I've got here. I got move other cards out of the way, but I'll let you know here in a second.
Clinton Park says Dice Baseball does not card everyone. I have not come across, but I don't do season replays, so you would know better, Clinton. Because they card a lot of guys. I know that, but yeah, if you're doing a season replay, you would know better. And you just got to go with what you have. I've done World Series with Basic. If I don't have the player, I just substitute, and I say I've substituted. So I just asked ID what hockey seasons he has for Strat. I have some Strat cards coming to me. I'm very excited. I'm not excited about FedEx putting the cards right in front of my door so I can break my neck when I step out. Because who walks out their door and looks down? I don't look down when I walk out my door. Why can't they put it on the chair next to the door? No, they put it right down in front of the door, and now a Red Sox fan almost broke his neck.
Crazy.
Yes. Can't find it. That's okay. I was just curious.
They're back behind. I had to redesign something, so okay. I got like literally cards everywhere again.
Oh, I know how you feel. So are they more modern seasons? Because you're more modern.
Yeah, they're more modern seasons, but I definitely want to get what I'm looking at now is the 95-96 season.
And why would you want to get that in case someone doesn't know? I think I know why.
95-96 was the start of the epic rivalry between the Colorado Avalanche and the Detroit Red Wings.
Red Wings. Oh,
yes.
I thought it was the Red Wings.
There was like a 6 or 8 year period there where Detroit and Colorado were going at one another every year in the playoffs. I think there was
Patrick Roy was on the Avalanche at the time because he got traded from the Canadiens. Am I remembering that correctly?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you
so the reason he got traded was because
I love this story.
The Detroit Red Wings were playing Montreal, and they were trying to show the rest of the league that you don't mess with Detroit, and they took it out on Montreal, which wasn't that great a team, and they scored 7 goals on Patrick Roy, and the coach left him in until finally, I think after 7 goals, they finally pulled him.
Yep.
And he walked
7
over
or 9
to the
or
owner
something
and said, "I'm not doing this for you anymore."
Yep. And they traded him.
So they traded him to Colorado, and that started. Then he had the hit from Claude Lemieux on Colorado that hit Kristen Draper in the board, smashed.
Claude Lemieux
head,
was a dirty player, though, if I remember correctly.
His cheek, 4 of his teeth were broken, and that basically started the rivalry right there.
But Claude Lemieux was a dirty player, if I remember correctly.
That is what most people would kind of.
I mean, when I used to watch the Bruins, he was to me, he was a physical player. I thought he
was physical, but yeah, I mean, he would kind of sucker punch people in his scrum. He had that hit on Draper. He wasn't well liked around the league. But I mean, you got some of those Detroit, Colorado series have some of the most epic players in hockey. I mean, it's like a who's who of hockey in the 90s was on those 2 teams, and they had epic clashes. They played 30 playoff games between 1995-96 season, so really 96 and 2002. They played 30 playoff games, and 6 of those 30 went into overtime. So that's how equal and as good as they were. And I think there was a 4 or 6 year period where one of those 2 teams won the Stanley Cup. So it was kind of the start of an epic rivalry.
Now, which team did you prefer?
I preferred at the time when it was happening, I was rooting for Detroit.
Okay. Yeah.
But then I switched, and now that I can look back on things, I prefer Colorado more. Colorado was kind of think of them as kind of like the the Detroit Red Wings are like the good guys, the rebels, in
Yep.
Star Wars, they were kind
I
of
don't care.
considered
I
the
don't
good
care for the
guys.
Rebels
And
too
they,
much in
they
Star
were
Wars.
Mr. Friendly and Mr.
Yeah.
Happy, and then Colorado was considered the bad boys, so they were the Empire. So
I like that. I like the way you said that. Arnold Hunter, and we'll get right back to that. Arnold Hunter asked, "Did I buy Out of the Ballpark for $10?" I bought it when it was $40, and to me, when it first came out, I buy it every year for $39.99 right off the bat. Out of the Ballpark is on sale for $10. Out of the Ballpark 20, and it will go until October 11th, I believe. But you can check that on Steam or their site or Origin also. To me, if you like baseball, for $10, you get every season, not one, not two, every season. Now, it's a closed engine. So if you do not like a closed engine, this game is not for you. You can play 3 different ways. You can play with the animation, which is absolutely wonderful. It gets better every year. You can play 2 versions. To me, they're basically the same, but they play like Diamond Mine. I never play that because I want the animation, but you can play that and they give you a different stat, a different view of it. I like to play with the animation. I think there's a lot of statistics in the game. I can make an informed decision. I play a lot. I enjoy it. Again, it's a closed engine. What would be cool, like ID said, if you could see what's behind that curtain, and we say goodnight to Mrs. ID. And we're almost been on for 2 hours. My God, this has been fun. But yeah, I recommend it for $10.
I didn't know it was on sale. I think you had mentioned that, but yeah.
So I'm just telling people, I'm not telling you to buy the game. I'm saying if you were thinking about it, you want to try it.
No, Al's saying go buy it. Just go buy it.
Don't say that because I don't get any money for that. But don't say that because then I get people going, you made me buy it. I'm like, no, I just said if you're interested in it.
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I have the 2018 and the 2019, and I've not upgraded to 2020 yet. Now that it's only $10, is it worth buying it, or is it better to take that $10 and put it towards 2020 when it comes out?
Well, I have to say the animations and with the updates, they've gotten better and better with the smoothness of the animation. I saw something I've never seen. Action PC's gotten a little better with this too, but pickles. I've seen great double plays that you don't normally see in a game. I mean, like in a sim game. The animation is very good. The gameplay to me is excellent. Closed engine, but I can sit there and I go, I want to hit and run here. This guy's a good contact hitter. He's hot. He's hitting 300. This guy throws, he throws strikes. I'm looking at how many people to strike out people. You're around the zone. I get it. You might be trimming, but you're throwing strikes, right? And then you look at different kind of ratings. I do a 1 through 10 rating. And my little joke is Bo Derek was a 10, not a 20, not a 100. She was a 10. I do 1 through 10. But you can do 20 through 8. I think like real scouts do a 20 through 80 sort of rating, which again, 80 good, 20 bad. So the same thing with it, just tweaks. I use 1 through 10. You can change the rating. Because I know you don't like the closed engine. I'm not saying I like it. I've accepted it. I tell you what, if they ever figured a way where you can play a 4th version, again, version 2 and 3 in the game is basically the same. It's like you're playing Diamond Mine baseball. Okay. And people don't complain about that as much as they do Out of the Ballpark. Do I question some things at times? Yeah, I do, but that's with every game. With Strat, my big hang up is, so my thing to UID, for $10, I would buy it. I think
that's you. That's you, though.
Right. But
what about
for
me?
You, because
Franchise Hockey Manager 6 is coming out. Would I rather spend the $10 on that?
I would, and then they've done, you know what? Because you're more of a hockey guy. Now, they haven't done anything with the animation. It's the puck. Because I played 2 versions of that. Can we talk about that, ID? Franchise Manager Hockey?
Sure, let's talk about it.
Okay. So for ID, I would say put the $10 towards Franchise Manager Hockey. They might rope me in because now they've added, you can play different years, and I love that stuff.
You like the fictional 1972 versus the 1998 team.
Yeah, right. So that would be cool to me. And I can do that in Action PC, but the thing where Hockey Manager has you buy $39.99 every season. Now it doesn't. You don't. I've told this before. They would think I killed their children when I asked them. I watched their video. I like the game. I said, why can't you add the animation like you do for baseball? I know I've said it before, but and they were like, wow. They were like, I'm like, man, God, I buy your. I didn't say this, but in my head, I'm like, I buy their game every year. I promote it. I play it. I love it. I said, oh, I love this game. And I just said, why can't? And they go, we can't do that. It's not easy. I go, sure it is. You do it in baseball. And they're, oh my, that was not the thing to say to them. They got quite upset. But okay. Here's my thing with I have 3 and 4 or 4 and 5. I would get them on sale on Steam. Like when they go to the $10, I would buy. I take it. And here's the thing: I want to like it. I kind of like it. It was too difficult to make your everyday lineup. And again, it's more of a you explain. It's more of a GM thing, which is cool.
GM as opposed to a coach, yeah.
Right. We're out of the ballpark. You can be GM, you can be coach, you can be whatever the hell you want to be. So I wanted a little more where you can change. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it was a little. If I just want to say, okay, I want this guy to sit, I want this guy to play. It should be easy to me, and it wasn't. It was really. Maybe I'm missing something, but they've said that, and I've read the thing where that was one of the people wanted that better. Improved. Now they do pretty good with the cool thing you can sim if you want to take whatever team you can sim them from God knows when till God knows when, well past whatever to the year 3,045,000, and they'll make up fictional I assume fictional players by that time, and and you can play. I would assume fictional you can play it straight up
draft and everything. Yeah. So, I mean, I've seen people that really, really got into it and like. They didn't even like sim the games. They like literally just did front manager stuff, and it was interesting watching them. But for simmers like you and me, is it going to fill our niche?
Again, I might get sucked in because you can play cross year, but I'm not buying it at $40.
Because I mean. How many? It's not like we have 10 different hockey games to choose.
No, that's why I ask you because I play Action PC. I like it. I really do like it. Okay, but that's why I watch your APA. Not just because obviously I like your channel. I love the work you do and the entertainment you bring me. But I'm sitting there going, am I going to get? Now I watch APA. I'm like, I'm not buying this. Not that I dislike it. I'm just like, I can put up. You hit it on the head. I can do my baseball because I have the room necessary for that. But I put my basketball on here. I'm like, I can't stream this. I can't. I think people would like it because it's fun. My strategy. It's just you have a nice setup. I like the way you did it. I like the way you have the sleeves. So then I'm like, a hockey PC. And I watch the enjoyment that Ron Juckett gets from it. And I have to say one thing real quick. I have to ask Nurse Teresa, how did you bowl tonight? Did you win?
Nurse Teresa.
So I got to call her in a little bit. So, yeah, you're right. We don't have much inside the crease.
Yeah, we don't. It's not like we have 10 games to choose from and we can be picky. So, I mean, when the game comes out, you got to either get it or you just go without.
Yeah. So that's why I asked you the big beep. Oh, God damn it. Big
beep hockey.
I said it right. I was asking about that, and Ken says it's an okay game. Ken Castro plays a ton of games too. He's a good guy to go to for that. But you're right. What inside the crease again? I played the demo of Inside Baseball. Wonderful games, just not for me. That's all I'm saying. What games have you played with hockey? And you don't necessarily have to rate them. I don't want you to do that.
Action PC hockey.
And do you enjoy that?
Automatic hockey. Let me look at my hockey folder real quick because I'm probably missing something here.
I think you've played Inside the Crease too, I believe.
Inside the Crease, thank you. Yep. Yeah, I knew there was hockey. Action. There's another game called Hockey Bones.
Oh, I played East Side Hockey Manager. That's pretty fun.
It was previously known as PTG Hockey.
Is that a PC game or is
no? It's a card and dice.
Okay.
Now, how does
How does that play? I'm not familiar. Is it play by play or?
It is pretty complex, to be
Okay,
honest.
that's not for me then.
It's one of the ones that you have a 6x6 matrix.
Mm-hmm.
You roll the dice, and it has like it'll have.
Are you
to give
going
you
from
an-
sector to sector?
It'll have like $S ? And that's your answer, right? So you got to know what all these different symbols mean. You know, and then you got to look up stats, and it's just not.
Okay, it's overcomp. It
I
doesn't
do have the
flow.
Spanish pro hockey as well. That's right. See, I knew there was a few that I was
Oh,
missing.
have you done that on your? I don't recall
I've done
that
that
one
on
on
my
your.
channel. I've only done
Okay,
it once or twice.
that's a card flipper, right? Well, they're all pretty much card flippers. The
Yeah, they're all going to be fast action. It's not bad. It's just kind of generic. And the thing I don't like about it is you've got a player, and on his card, you're going to roll percentile dice to see what results you get, whether he
Okay.
passes it or shoots it or
Okay.
there's a penalty or whatever.
Yep.
And it goes from 0 to 100. But then you also have to look at the defensive player because he's going to adjust that roll. And that's
Down
just
or
an
up.
extra step. Yeah, down or up based on his value. And that's just an extra step that's going to slow the game down. Why have that in there? I mean, it's just so I played it. It just took like too long to play it, and I'm like, no, I'm done.
Okay. So of the hockey games so of the hockey games you've played, again, I like Action PC because it has the animation. I wish they improved that a little bit more. They've done a little the fighting, but here's what I would do if I was out of the hockey manager, the one coming up for OTP, the hockey manager. They should go and look at. I'm sure they have. There's a game called East Side Hockey. You showed
actually have that on Steam. You can get that on Steam,
and it's fun. And they have a great modding community, right?
They didn't. It's like the most recent version is like from 2015. Yeah.
So that's again. You have to go to the modding community. There are people. This is incredible to me. They make seasons. I don't know how the hell they make seasons, but and you read the result. And again, I play it now and then, so I don't really do them. But I tell you to watch those little circles go at it. I sit there with utter enjoyment, and then they get into a fight and they're just whacking away at each other. It's great. Yeah. But again, that's just my little.
They're interesting.
Yeah.
I think Appa, very solid.
Yep.
Good game. I have issues, but I'm not going to get like a review of it or anything like that. I would say there are issues, but that those issues
don't deter you from
back to how hockey is played.
Yeah, and you've always said that
it's very hard to sim that.
Yep.
Because you have to have people coming on and off the ice every 60 seconds at the most.
Yeah.
Which is going to be, every 1 or 2 plays, you're going to have to change out all the player cards that are in front of you, other than,
Now, do you have your lines set specifically where you're not making like an individual? You know how sometimes they will tweak an individual line when you're playing. Do you?
If I didn't think it was going to slow it down even further, I would do that because. That's kind of the essence of hockey.
Right. You want to tweak.
Is my guys, if I'm the coach, I know what they do well. And when you put out players that I can take advantage of what my players do well,
you want to do it.
When I want to do that, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the essence of hockey. If I've got really fast skaters on there and you put really slow defenders out there, that's an opportunity for me to get the advantage on you. So that's kind of what the hockey, when you're bringing in relief pitchers in baseball, that's kind of the same situation in hockey. This is the strategy of hockey is matching up the different players.
Well, that's even with football too. You're looking to exploit in any sport. You're looking to exploit, whether it's a team sport or an individual sport, you're looking to exploit an advantage. And that is where, again, God bless people who play the card and dice hockey because you're making a lot of changes. And Ken Castro, he's playing a tournament, offline. He doesn't play online, but he plays like he'll play a period. And Dave Gardner said the same thing. Like he's been playing strat, card, and dice, right? He plays a bit, right? And he goes, I can walk away and do something. He goes, that's the joy of card and dice. You walk away if you have to, right? Come back, I'll play a little more of it. I've done that with whether it's dice baseball, Stratomatic baseball, or payoff pitch, or all-star lineup baseball. I got to play a little more about that on the channel. I'll tell you the reason why I don't play as much of that on the channel. I do have a problem with some dyslexia, and lefty righties, it's a silhouette, right? And I'm sitting there going, oh God.
Right.
And what happens with me, if I don't know, I know this sounds stupid, and the creator's a very nice guy, Craig Winsel, but if I don't know the player, I'm sitting there going, crap, is that lefty or righty? And because it matters. It matters in the way the game's played. Right. And I wish it just, for me, I wish it just had a lefty or righty thing. It's just because I sometimes see things backwards, and it sucks. But yeah, so the joy about playing card, and I mean, even PC, I'll walk away, but there's something about, I can't believe. Now, then we'll end this pretty soon, but I'll get your final thoughts on this. The joy of going back to playing card and dice. I can't believe how much fun I have. What are your thoughts on why you went back to card and dice? You were kind of there with the games you were playing on PC, but you're a lot of.
I was not a card and dice guy until like a year and a half ago. I mean, if you go back a year and a half on my channel, it's all PC.
Right. But, I mean, you were playing Inside Pitch, which is
Inside Pitch, Out of the Park, Baseball
Action
Mogul, Diamond Mind,
Baseball Mogul. They could do so much with that game. It's so much fun. There's just tweak it just a little bit,
Yeah, it's a very solid game. I think it's very interesting. But the fact that the stupid crowd yells after every single out drives me crazy.
And you can't get rid of that.
Turn it off. You can turn it all the way down to 0.
But that takes a little bit.
Goes on.
Yeah. And even that, you want to kind of have the noise because of the immersion of that. And the other, and before you get back to card dice, because you said Baseball Mogul, that's a game I do enjoy. I put it up on the channel. And I might do a Sandy Koufax thing. And again, they don't give you, unless they change. The version I have, it's funny because I went looking. I was like, wait a second. That's not the actual schedule. I didn't realize that. They give you a fictional schedule. Real players, fictional schedule. Like when you play 67, you're getting the start of the 66 season. So if you wanted to play head-to-head, someone explained it to me. It was actually because I asked a question. If I wanted to play 1967 Red Sox against the 1967 Cardinals, you'd actually have to use the 1968, like the beginning of the 68 season, and click something where they wouldn't, you say no trades or something. You could just play like head-to-head sort of. But yeah. So, yeah, I hear you. I hear you on that.
They don't have historic seasons. Like, this game from this day, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they don't.
They do have the teams that you played that season are the teams you play.
Yeah, they're actual.
In like a messed up order. They don't go like, April 1st, 2nd, 3rd, you played the Dodgers in real life. You might be playing the 1st, 2nd, 3rd.
The Mets.
Might be playing the Mets, yeah.
Yeah. Again, it takes a little bit of weight.
Because, if you want to do the historic lineup and go, or if you want to play the day that, say, Babe Ruth hit, his 750th home run, or Willie Mays, or if you want to play the day that
it's a fun game.
Yeah, it's an excellent game.
You can call your pitches.
You can call your own pitches.
I do that all the time.
You could, kind of, which is, kind of as a baseball manager, that's what they do. They tell, they give the signal to pitch out. Yep. If there's a runner on first to try and get them. So it's an excellent game. They just need to incorporate.
Yeah, I recommend it on sale if you want to get that. It's a good one. Yeah, anyway, absolutely. I interrupted because you did a great. I remember you did a review. You bought the new. I forgot what year it was, and I sat and I watched it, and you're like, "Good game." They still have the same issues. I'm not. I'm just saying things that ID, and I agree with ID on these things that we'd like to see change. Anyhow, card and dice. We'll have you. So you tell us about that, and then we'll close out the show because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was PC guy. I was watching you, and I was watching Higher Ground Gaming and baseball demos, and all you guys rolling your dice, tabletop sports Delaware. And I'm like, nah, that just seems like too much work. And, I can do it on the computer so much faster. You guys are idiots. You guys are idiots. You guys are idiots. And then I was like, man, it does look like fun, though. Maybe I should try it. And then when you start trying it, you go, yeah, they're not idiots. They know something. They're pretty smart guys, actually, because this is a lot of fun.
I tell you, it's I have a lot of projects, and one more before we go because Arnold Hunter's a good. Everyone in the chat's wonderful, but he's a I like to answer the question. I've never played History Maker baseball. I enjoy watching people play it. I don't recall. ID, have you ever played History Maker?
I have never played History Maker, and I will never play History Maker.
It's not his type. It's not art. It's not ID's type of game. It's not a knock against Play.com. They have their fan base and that enjoys that type of game. Crap, the Dodgers went ahead. I've not played. I've watched baseball demos. Does a wonderful job with it. Eric from Higher Ground Gaming's played it a little bit. Phantomatic, our good friend, he's doing History Maker Golf. Now I just gave him
Combat Painter is doing.
Oh yeah, Combat Painter. Yes. He likes History Maker too, and it's a fun game. It's just.
I mean, I watch people play it.
Yeah.
There's two things I don't like about it.
I don't like the book.
I don't like the book. I can give or take the book, but I don't like the fake stats, And then the second thing is I don't like dice games where you roll the dice and you count from smallest to biggest. Like if you roll 1 and 2 and a 6, it's a 1, 2, 6. As opposed to, when you roll red dice, a blue dice, and a green dice.
It's different variable. Yeah. It gives you more of a variable.
Like the small to large dice roll. I just so it's just my personal preference. I'm not saying
it's
wrong with
it. If you enjoy
it, would be for me.
Yeah, if you enjoy the game, again, we say this all the time, and ID said it too, and other people said it. Play the games you like the way you want to play it. Don't be deterred by anybody. It's fun to watch. I enjoy. I've not played it. Captain Carl was actually going to send me a free version of the game. I said, Captain Carl.
Captain Carl.
He plays it, and I was like, I'm not going to play it. I don't want you. I appreciate it. I'm not going to play it. Maybe someday.
They do have a lot of sports on their channel.
Yeah,
which is nice. Play.com. They have a hockey.
They have a soccer. I can keep looking at the soccer game.
The hockey, it's again the same format that I don't like with the baseball.
Now they do say that's based on baseball demos. Again, not to just be a little yin to the yang. He did the Braves season. God, I wish I could remember which Braves. He played the whole season, and then he kept the stats, and they were close. So again, if I understand baseball demos right, and other people, if they say you're a slugger, that's not the right terminology.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, is it slugger
or sad sack?
Yeah.
Or...
There's stats that that equal the slugger name. So there is stats involved. You just don't see it. Again, that's like all-star lineup where you don't see any stats. It's just this guy does this if you roll this. And again, no knock against any of those games. I enjoy all-star, and I don't see with History Maker baseball. I've not played it, and it's not my cup of tea. Maybe I keep looking at the soccer game. I might, because I like the Cosmos, and it's the only game that has the Cosmos, so that I see. But yeah, that's no knock against the game.
Now that I played the app of hockey,
as Ken says, based on real stats. Thank you, Ken.
Maybe somebody in the chat, maybe Ken even knows. I'm looking at actually trying out the APBA golf. I think looked at that and it looks pretty interesting. And I think that would be more up my alley than the hockey does with the little numbers. But I don't know enough about it to be
the
100%
the
sure.
game that's right. If you want to take a look to see if you might like APBA without purchasing the APBA card and dice golf, the ASG game, you can
Yeah.
download a demo.
I've
You can
seen that.
download, but you can download a free demo, and Uncle Ron Juckett plays it a lot. And he can, if you have questions, it plays like an APBA clone. I'm not saying exact. I have the demo. It's kind of fun. That's the one where the
You're
chart
talking
does
about the computer version or the card and
Yes,
dice?
the computer. It's computer, but it's card and dice on the PC. But it plays. It's a free demo. You can play 9 holes with the 16 golfers over and over, and so you can get a little feel. I'm not saying it's exact, but I'm saying it's an APBA clone. So
Yeah, I was looking for more of a card and dice one.
yeah.
So that's why I was looking at the APBA.
So let's just talk this out real quick. You've played APBA hockey. You've played APBA base, a version of APBA. Have you played APBA base? You played that
a ton of APBA baseball.
Baseball. Because I know you played the clone one too. Plays similar, but I don't want to. So again, I've played a clone of an APBA wrestling game, and once I got used to the chart, I enjoy the wrestling game. Baseball, it's not my thing, but wrestling. So their games are very similar. It's a chart. It's chart based.
Well, you call it chart based. I call it numbers based.
Numbers based. Okay.
You get a number.
Right.
You get a 13. You get a 12. You get a 56. You get a 42. Whatever. You get these numbers.
I think you're right, though. I think it would work quite well with golf.
I think with the golf, you're going to get a number, and then it's going to tell you, okay, that goes 300 feet forward and then 2 to the left or something, and then you place a little mark. I've seen people do it, so I think it's something that's doable. I looked at what Ron had done with the ASG golf, but I'm looking for more of a card and dice. I just, if anybody else,
Ken says he doesn't own APBA golf.
I was just going to say,
Ken is the only one he doesn't own. Now,
the other thing about APBA,
yes,
and I did my review of all the different baseball cards.
Yes, you did. That's up on the Delphi.
Here's one thing I will say about APBA. You can buy I'm going to call it the starter set, okay?
Yep.
So you can buy like the baseball starter set.
Which only comes with
all the charts, the books, and it comes with like 4 or 5 or 6 teams or something. It comes with like a full season.
Yep.
You can do the same thing with the hockey. That's why I'm playing this, is because I bought the intro hockey to APBA, where you get like all the books, all the charts, everything.
Yep.
The dice, the little shaker, all the little cards, and I think you get 4 teams for the hockey. So I think, I'm hoping that they do the same thing with the golf, where you get like all the books, the charts, the rules, and then you get like one course and a couple golfers. I'm hoping is what you can kind of.
I bet you they'll tell you on the site. So.
Yeah, so. But I mean, if anyone out there is also looking at APBA,
right. No, yeah, it's always
the seasons are pretty expensive. Okay,
yes,
when
they
you
are.
Start buying a season.
I looked at
if you wanted to try APBA out, you can buy like the basic intro game kit, and it's pretty reasonable. It's only like $35 or $40.
Yeah, because I looked at APBA football because it plays. Again, I play Fran Tarkenton football.
See, that might be one that I might want to try to get. Is the APBA football, because I think that might work too.
Yeah, because that, to me, a numbers based works with football. Because that's Fran Tarkenton. That's what it is. You look at, I can't you. It's only one board and then you have another. It's 2 boards you're looking at. One big board, and then your game board has some information on it. And again, it's old school football, so they didn't get down to the nitty gritty of a field goal kicker. I've adjusted that when I mod it. When I make my mod more newer seasons, because I only had one season, and when I was a kid, I'd make my own seasons. And as I got older with more information, it's not that hard to do. Time consuming, fun,
right?
Time consuming, but yeah.
With the APBA basic that I'm talking about, one thing to keep in mind if you are looking for that is you don't get to pick the teams. It's like when I ordered mine last year, it was the Final Four from the 17-18 season. If you go buy the hockey now, you're going to get the Final Four teams from last year's hockey season. So it's always like the current edition basic set. So you don't get to I want the season from, the basic set from 2017-18.
Right. Ken Castro says he thinks regarding the golf, you get a number of players of old-time golfers, not certain though. And he also says, Mr. Gardner and I will be at Play.com National Hockey Blast Tournament in 3 weeks. Yes, they've been talking about that up here.
Oh, I didn't know anything about their tournament. That's nice.
Yeah, so they're going to meet up, so that should be fun. All right. Well, we're coming up on midnight. My God, this was fun. Did you have fun, ID?
Man, that was just a blast. I can't believe it's been 2.5 hours again.
We got to do it again. I enjoy.
I was like, hey, if anybody wants to get in for a few minutes, we're going to do a chat. I'm like, oh, okay, for a few minutes, I'll jump in. 2 hours and 25 minutes later, we're saying goodnight.
We're saying goodnight. It was a lot of fun.
Thank
Thank you.
you, Irene.
Yeah, good night. To the moon, Alice. A lot of fun. Oh, wait, one more thing. Always Final Four teams. He says always Final Four. Maybe that's for hockey. I don't.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so you get a lot of good information here from ID Gesture in the chat. Thank you, everyone who joined us in the chat and participated. I greatly appreciate that. Remember to check out ID Gesture's channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And as you go by, become a friend of the channel and a friend of the community, FOC. Remember to check out Sam's Tangle Web. And let's get Mr. Utah Mike, our good friend, Sports Time Machine, to 200 subs. And check out all the content creators. And please subscribe, check out their stuff, and hit that like button when you go there. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, ID Gesture, for stopping by.
Thanks.
I greatly appreciate. Always a good time. Hope to have you on again, and maybe we get you on with Comics with Bueller.
Next time, you're coming on my channel.
Absolutely. Buddy. That's why I said. But I realized baseball playoffs. I said because I thought we were going to do it like one of these two. Then I realized you didn't send me. I was like, I bet you it's the playoffs. So that's fine. We can do it after the baseball playoffs. And I think I greatly appreciate
it. Squeeze a night in here or there. I'll try and let you know. We'll work it out.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. God bless. You know what's coming, folks. Peace.
Damn, we got to